What in the world, both for everybody out there that don't know me? My name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach. I love to sit around and talk about sports. Yes, you yourself could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us, and I definitely and I greatly appreciate that. First of all, if you're watching the show after we gone live already, make sure you put a what in the world bowl in the comments. Also, make sure that you share the channel with your friends and family. We would definitely and greatly appreciate that. You share the channel with your friends and family. I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. So here we are. The 2024 season has come and gone. Off season is here for 2025. In the words of my homeboy Master P, Twanky 5. And y'all know I'm not the type. I don't, be playing games and, you know, mess around and say, hey, we're gonna do 35 mock drafts. Y'all know. I'm pretty sure y'all know I'm not that guy. If you haven't known that yet, uh, uh in the words of that dude in that slap contest, I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but it's one of my favorite clips on the internet. They had the slap contest. One dude slap another guy, and then he takes a slap, and then he slaps the other guy back. There was this funny clip. Whenever dude got slapped, he just ate the slap, and he said, "You must don't know me. I got the dog in me, boy. You don't know, but you about to find out." Then he just walked off. I was like, "Oh man, see, this is over. This is over." If it was me, I would just anyway. Y'all know how I get off track sometimes. Fact of the matter is, y'all about to find out if you didn't know. I'm not the type of person that does a whole bunch of mock drafts, right? For one, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. For two, I don't want to sit over here and tease y'all, giving y'all all these different names and everything, you know, when we legit don't know what's going to happen. So y'all know how we do. First of all, I got to show love to everybody showing love to me. False Start Falcon in here. Shouts out to my homeboy False Start Falcon. What in the world, Bo? What's going on, man? A1 Forever. Chris Tip Moore is in here. What's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight. Tay Bros in here. What in the world, Bo? Rishi says rise up from Tampa, Florida. What's going on, man? Shouts out to Tampa. Tampa Bay. What's going on y'all down there, man? Tommy Baker's in here. What's going on, Tommy? Uh-oh. Look like Tommy is indulging in some of those beverages. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing good tonight. Justin Swisher. What in the world, Bo Bernard's in here. Rise up, family. You already know what time it is. Douglas Farrington says NFL draft is almost here. I'm excited. Willie Doc's in here. You know it's a party now. Coach Willie's in here. Tanisha Higgins is in here. What in the world, Bo? Deshaun Coswell said, what in the world, Bo? Yeet! Get some. What's going on, fam? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. Dre Murphy's in here. Says, what up, beloveds? How y'all beloveds doing and feeling on this Tuesday night, beloveds? Hello, what's going on, man? Tyler Russell's in here. What in the world, Bo? What's going on, Coach Tyler, Coach Christine? Hope y'all doing good tonight. Player Stat says, what up, Big Low? Finally caught up. What's going on, Bo? Thank you so much for catching us live, man. Yosemite Blam's in here. Says, I'll go lay on them tracks now, Big Low. He just tell me we ain't taking nothing other than the edge. Dang gum. Yosemite Blam says, da-da. Atlanta. Da-da. Falcons. Da-da. Better take an edge. Da-da. Quit breaking my heart. That's where he is right now. Willie Dots in here with the first Superman chat of the night. He said the most Falcon pick at 15 would be to get a wide receiver. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat, Bo. All right, okay. So look here, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And y'all know I save insider information for the coaching staff, right? So insider information. It's not at 15. It's not at 15. But I have insider information. I'm not even gonna say the player. I'm not gonna throw that out there. But there's a player who transferred last year. He's a wide receiver. He transferred from one SEC team to another SEC team. I mean, that might just be a little bit. That might be enough information for you right there. I'll give you another clue. He's from Georgia, right? But he transferred from one SEC to another SEC team. And thing is that the team that he transferred to told him like, hey, we're going to need a wide receiver next year. We're going to need some speed. If you transfer to the universe, I almost I almost gave it away. But basically, he said he said, and it wasn't Terry, it was one of the front office folks. But they said, hey, if you make this transfer, um, we're planning to be drafting in the late 20s next year. If you transfer and you get this good tape, with Texas, we kind of run a little bit of the same kind of. I gave it away. Anyway, with the school that you're at, it's one of them situations where, hey, we it's a strong possibility that we'll take you. We really like your game. We like your speed. We love the way that you play the game and everything. So moving forward, he went there, and I don't know if he's going to be a first round pick, but I know that the Falcons kind of told him that they were interested in him. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But to your point, Coach Willie Doc, I don't think it's a situation where we're going to be taking a wide receiver with the first pick. So moving forward, let's go ahead and jump on in it, see what we got going on. Let's see here. All right. Let me know if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, and if you can see it clearly, put a 1 in the chat. I would definitely and greatly appreciate it. If you see my screen and you can see it clearly, put a 1 in the chat. While we're waiting on those responses to get the inaugural coaching staff mock draft party going, we'll check out some more of these comments here. Tony Wright in here says, what's popping, low, and congrats to the great Julio Jones on a Hall of Fame career. I heard you, Roddy White, Derrick Henry, and A.J. Brown were throwing a surprise party. Wait, what? Hope on a cruise ship? Huh? What in the world? See, you gave away y'all surprise party. I'm working. I don't got no time. Got no time to be doing that rich folk stuff with y'all. You know how you all rock, Tony Rock. Also, Yuri's in here, says, Low the legend. I don't know about that. Says, Low the legend. We need Mike Green or Jalen Walker at 15. Let's go. What's going on, Yuri, man? Shouts out to my brother Yuri. That's my people, man. Yosemite Blam says, I don't own a farm, but I would trade it all away. Baby girl, I'll trade it all. Money, cars, and everything. Oh, mind you, I don't know any hip hop connoisseurs in here. That flow that Fab put on that thing is one of the best flows I've ever heard. Tony Wright says, complete with strippers on that cruise. What? Goodness gracious. Daggone. Man, boy, y'all tripping. All right. So let's see what we got. Tony Wright said the most Falcons draft pick will be a running back. Goodness gracious. Tanisha says, don't do that. Don't do that, Willie. Terry might be looking at the show. look here, Terry. Look here. If you do get any ideas, just go ahead and throw me my check. We got Smitty in here. What's going on, Smitty? Smitty says, man, I done slid in on the mint condition. There you go. Yeah, you know how we do, Smitty. Birds Views in here says, let's move up. What's going on, man? Much love to you. Look, I mean, and that's a legit conversation to have. A legit conversation to have is should the Falcons move up. So look, appreciate everybody who let me know that they could see the draft. Willie Doc in here with the 1. Yosemite Blam says 4. What in the world, Bo? You might want to turn the magnification up. Okay, he says 1. Okay, I got you. Lamar in here, Tanisha Higgins. Okay, thank y'all so much for letting me know. All right, so as of right now, the Atlanta Falcons have the 15th pick, 46th pick 118, pick 218, pick 242. So, coaching staff, I need y'all to let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I need y'all to let me know. Do we trade up? Do we stay at 15? Or do we trade down and try to accumulate a few more picks? Y'all let me know in the comment. If you feel like we trade up, 1 in the chat. If you feel like we need to stay put, 2 in the chat. You feel like we need to trade down, 3, yeet, 3 in the chat. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking because like I said, the picks that we have 15, 46, 118, 218, 242. Oh boy, that's tough. that is tough. That is tough. Also, need y'all make sure that y'all put y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button, share the channel with your friends and family. If you do hit that like button for me, I promise y'all dance at your wedding one day. Definitely. Smitty's in here talking about free falling. Or that like a couple of years ago. Yeah, I remember that, man. Um, let's see. Willie Dot says, great content creator, Smitty Sports Machine. Keep doing yes. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe. If you haven't yet, make sure you go check out my homeboy Smitty Sports Machine, man. Great content over there. A whole lot of hypothetical situations that kind of opens your mind up. Fogo the Great, he says, yo, Lo, what in the world, boy? What's going on, Bo? Oh, he said, what it do? What's going what it do, Fogo? What it do? All right, so Willie Dot says 2 or 3. He says we go ahead and see what we need to do at picking at 15, or we trade that thing on down. What's that? ZOXATL says we stay put. We get what's given to us. Tyler Russell says trade back. Fogo the Great with the first. Let's trade up. And I'm thinking that you might be thinking Jalen Walker. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking you might be thinking Jalen Walker. Mac Town in here, Tabro. Mac Town says go ahead and trade back. Tabro says stay where you at. Tanisha says let's see. It depends on what's on the board. Okay. Lamar says stay put. Birds View says, hey, you go get what you want. Smitty says trade up, take that chance. Man, I actually see a lot more trade ups than I thought I would see. Tony Wright says trade down. All right. Douglas Farrington says trade up. But so the thing is that if you trade up, you could be possibly walking out of this draft with 4 picks, possibly 3, to be honest with you. And we just have so many holes, right? We have so many holes. So just looking at the teams that are ahead of us, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. Cam Ward is going to the Titans. Don't know as far as the Cleveland Browns. That might be a whole situation in itself when it comes to Kirk Cousins. So I mean, we're kind of trying to figure out what direction we're going to go in. Shador might be going to the Giants. You got New England Patriots and Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville, they need a whole bunch of stuff. Raiders, they need a whole bunch of stuff as well. I can see them getting that wide receiver from Ohio State. So I mean, look, you got 2 NFC South rivals going at 8 and 9. That's normally the spot that the Falcons pick at 8. We're actually moving on. So look, it's interesting. So I tell you what, if I'm in Terry Fontenot's shoes, I'm thinking, hey, you trade up and this defense still sucks. I know I'm fired, right? So I'm thinking that we're gonna kind of go with Coach Tanisha's mind frame. I think we're gonna trade down, see what's on the board, and then take it from there. So let's trade. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get to that 15th pick, and then let's just see what's on the board, and then take it from there. All right. So, wow. Okay, Abdul Carter. We done. Look, I definitely think Abdul Carter might be the best player in this draft. But man, Cam Ward, that's crazy. Travis Hunter to the Cleveland Browns. That's something that a lot of people seen happen. Cam Ward to the New York Giants. I mean, I could definitely see that. McMillan to to the Patriots. I could see that as well. Now, if Travis Hunter ends up going to the Travis Hunter ends up going to the Cleveland Browns, that means that it's a good possibility we could be trading Kirk Cousins to the Cleveland Browns. Wow, Ashton Genty to the New Orleans Saints. That's something that I don't know I would be wanting to tackle every year. Malachi starts to the Bears. Bears are putting together a pretty good squad there. They do have a history of getting those Georgia boys as well. Mike Green came off the board and went to the Dallas Cowboys. Jihad Campbell. I know Coach Carey. I know Coach Carey is somewhere pissed off because I know that's a guy that she really wanted. So I mean, look, I'm not necessarily mad at this. You still got a lot of good draft capital on the board. All right. So moving forward, guys, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Now, um, I don't know if it's documented yet. And I see Bird's View says, let's not overthink it. Willie Doc says if Green is gone, trade down. Um, so I don't know if it's documented yet, but this is my favorite player in the draft. Um, Donovan Eziraku. This guy is my favorite player in the draft. 14 sacks last year, 20 hits on the quarterback. Um, pass rush win rate of almost 20. That means almost every fifth time he beats his guy or he beats the protection that's against him. Um, I mean, plays the run well. I, I mean, if you get a chance to watch his tape, he has the best motor in this draft. He has the look. He legitimately has the best motor in this draft. Um, Yuri, he says, look at here, is Jalen Walker still up there? Um, I believe he's gone, Yuri. If he's not there, then this this draft is definitely not accurate. Let's see here. Wait a minute, they changed this thing around. How do I look at my? All right, so apparently Jalen Walker is still on the board. They have the percentages. Okay, there we go. All right, so wait a minute. Ain't no way. So they said Jalen Walker's average draft position is 19. As you can see, great player, 6'2", 245, great speed. It says Walker is physically and athletically gifted player who presents box presence. Once again, presents box presence, versatility, and off-ball linebacker, which is definitely something that we need help with. His anticipation, pass rush profile, in its current form are lacking for consistent impact in the NFL. He must improve how he approaches rushing the passer or his off-ball instincts to be worth a top 50 selection uh, due to age and potential. Wow, that is a very. I mean that's a not that's not that much of a favorable look at Jalen Walker. Oh, I'm sorry, so asked me to scroll up. Oh, okay. I think you were talking about the uh the draft software. All right, so let's let's take a look at the trades. Let's take a look and see what trades are available. I'm definitely considering, you know, getting a Jalen Walker, or considering getting some of these other players that are on the board. But I know that the Cincinnati Bengals, they're considering trading with us. The Denver Broncos are considering trading with us for the 20th spot. Buffalo Bills for the 30th spot. Philadelphia Eagles for 32. And we would never trade with the Panthers, never in life. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Do y'all think we should go ahead and make a trade? Do you think we should go ahead and get one of these young Thundercats that are on the board right now? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Do you go ahead and get a Donovan Izaraku? Do you get a Kenneth Grant, a guy in the middle? Do you get Agbuka, a wide receiver, in the words of Willie Dopp? I need to know from the coaching staff, what direction do y'all think we should go? Do you go Walter Nolan? You know, what you thinking? I know Smitty. He says take Will Johnson at 15. Boston's college edge, or Nolan may be there in the second round. I don't think it's Raku. I really feel like he's flying up the board. Um, Now just looking at Will Johnson, um, let's look at his numbers first. 6'2", 202. He's one of those. He's a legitimate cover three corner. He's one of those guys that you would get to cover that whole third of the field. It says long, lean, pause, cornerback with elite foot quickness and change of direction fluidity. His limit long speed will create questions about his man coverage reliability in the NFL, but having him play off coverage, which is of course, the issues that we've had with the issues that we've had with Raheem Morris's coverage, playing off coverage, but having him play off coverage with his eyes on the ball as a zone defender, wide cornerback, could allow him to make impactful plays more often. So, in other words, he fits the Atlanta Falcons scheme perfectly. Um, Yosemite Blair says, get the best defender is easy. What are y'all talking about? Trade back. Trade back for garbage. When we're all garbage. Well, I mean, look, that's the thing. This draft is deep. Prince says, man, you got to get that Boston College edge. Denise says, what are the Bengals offering? I like Johnson, too, Smitty. All right. So let's see. Look, let's see what we can get. Because if you think about it, I mean, we're only moving back 5 spots if we trade with the Bengals. I'm sorry, 2 spots if we trade with the Bengals. So if we gave the Bengals a first round pick and we swap first rounds and we said, hey, let's get that second round pick up off you too, and a fourth round pick. I mean, I'm sure they would do that, right? Oh, my bad. This is for the wrong year. Of course they would do that. All right. Okay. So we swap those picks and we okay, so they don't want to give up that second. So if we got a third, so they don't want to give up that third and fourth. If we swap first round picks and we got a third, which is because I mean we are missing a third. We got a third and a fifth. Let's see if they'll take that trade. They accepted it. So we're gonna move back 2 spots. Doggone, the Bengals took Will Johnson, y'all. The Bengals took Will Johnson. So look, Michael Williams and Will Johnson came off the board. I'm just going to go ahead and get the guy who I think is the best edge rusher in this draft. I'm going to go ahead and get Donovan Iziraku. So let's go ahead and make that pick. So we got a third round pick. We got a third round pick. We got a fifth round pick. Um, I'm more than happy with that. So moving forward, um, look, you still have issues on the defensive side of the ball. We ain't paying no attention to what uh PFF is saying as far as wide receiver, they reckon like that's our biggest need. And as far as center, look, I have faith in the center that we have now. We could get an undrafted free agent center later on down the road. Shouts out to my homeboy Tidy. He says, great choice in the first round, Bo. Appreciate that, Tidy. All right. So what are we thinking about as far as that second pick? So that second pick, you got a lot of talent that's out there. I I know for one thing, I definitely want to go ahead and get a linebacker sometime in this draft. I also want to make sure that I get another cornerback. Some people are saying that they think Justin Simmons is going to be coming back, um, based off of his interview that he had earlier today. So, what are we thinking? So, Tanisha, she's saying corner or safety. Willie Dot says, "Wait a minute, is Nolan still there?" I believe Nolan is still there. I believe he. Oh, wait a minute, no, he's not. Nah. He's not there, coach. Um, Now, Jack Sawyer is there. Um, oh, Dylan Sampson in there. That's a good kid. Um, so whenever Terry sees Quinshawn Judkins in there, somebody tell Terry to look the other way. We ain't getting no more running backs. We ain't getting no more running backs. This is another guy in here that I really feel like is underrated. The great Torian Gray, coaching those DBs up in South Carolina. Bro, whenever I say South Carolina is putting together a really good program for all y'all Dogs fans out there, South Carolina ain't gonna be an easy out for the next 2-3 years. South Carolina is they're legit. So MacTown, he's saying he's thinking corner or linebacker. So I know the top corner on the board is Maxwell Harrison. I ain't gonna lie to you. I watched this film. Ain't nothing really jump off the screen for me. I know Smitty says Harrison is a playmaker at cornerback. So they said Harrison is feisty, who likes to get his hands on receivers, and bump and run coverage, from off from off coverage techniques. As a zone heavy cornerback, he has a chance to develop into a QB2 type player in the NFL. Okay. They said he became a starting cornerback in 2023 at Kentucky and missed a good chunk of 2024 on a shoulder injury. Mad Max, as his nickname is, had a quick play style that makes a fun watch. He is a constant post snap communicator and also gets verbal with wide receivers throughout the game. I love that. His height and length appear to be average for the position, but his 180-pound weight profile ranks in the single digit percentiles. Now, look, I ain't really worried about the whole. I ain't really worried about the whole 180-pound deal. I mean, look, he's 186 now. They could they could watch those macros and get him up into the 190s. That's definitely not a problem. Um, you know, the crazy thing is that these nutrition plans in college football, I mean, they're just as intense as nutrition plans in the pros now. But I'm pretty sure that they'll look at everything and say, hey, we might want to consider reevaluating things because he's going to be going against DK Metcalf and you know Mike Evans 2 times a year. Demetrius Knight, another guy from South Carolina. I think he's a good look as well. Um, Look, I really like this kid. Um, 6'2", 245. He's just as big as an edge rusher. They said he'll be one of the oldest prospects. Um, but he's a mature player with good processing and fundamentally sound tackling. His run defense angles can be a bit over aggressive, but you'll take that trade off due to how well he moves in coverage. I am perfectly fine with an over aggressive guy playing in the box. Give me an overly aggressive guy opposed to a guy that's playing double dutch in the gap all day, all day. All right, so the question is, what are y'all thinking? Y'all let me know. Tyrell says also suggests Jalen Walker as a backup. He says the LLMs are saying we should either go after an edge rusher like Mike Green, Michael Williams, or Shamar Stewart. I'm going to leave Shamar Stewart out of there. He says, or a cornerback like Will Johnson, or Barron, with the 15th overall pick. I mean, look, I definitely understand that, man. But you look, I feel like it's obvious we got to get after the quarterback. We got to get after the quarterback, and we got to be able to cover. So I know Xavier Watts. He's also a guy that he was a spearhead for that Notre Dame defense. One issue that I have with Xavier Watts is I feel like he's a little bit undersized. I know my little cousin Shady plays football for the University of Florida. Shady, he's a safety. It's sounding like he's going to be starting at the start, the nickel position coming up this year. Shady's 6'2", 210 now. This guy's 23 years old, 6 foot, 203. You weren't going to be able to get away with that in the SEC, and it showed, right? And you definitely ain't going to be able to get away with that in the NFL. Not with guys like Travis Kelce and the George Kittles of the world. Like, once again, the DK Metcalfs, Mike Evanses of the world. Those physical guys. It's a situation where I feel like I feel like they're going to take advantage of you. So I'm legit trying to figure out. Wait a minute. Smitty says Knight is older. I go Barrett or Simon in the late. Oh yeah. I'm definitely looking at them. Definitely looking at them. Chris White's in here. He says we need a deep threat at wide out, someone the safety can fear. Look, like I don't know if you had a chance to watch it a little bit earlier. If it's a situation where you watch what I watched, well, I'm sorry, not what I watched, but if you know what I know, I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to blow it, but according to my sources, the Falcons are in on the safety. I'm sorry, they're in on a wide receiver. So that's definitely something that y'all can kind of keep an eye out for. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. But between the two, uh, Benjamin Morrison, I did a lot of research on him, and they're definitely right. He's a smooth moving man coverage cornerback with good instincts for making plays on the ball, getting back uh, to form after hip surgery, getting a bit stronger. Look, I definitely understand that, but I'm leaning more towards Maxwell Harrison. The thing is that I don't want it to be one of those cases where I don't want to be one of those cases where we go off and we get that second round pick. And I mean, and they even say it in here, he's more of a developmental guy, and we end up whiffing on it. So I'm seriously considering doubling down and just going ahead and getting another edge rusher. Um, and I think I'm finna go ahead and get Jack Sawyer, guys. King Richie, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Yeah, I'm seriously considering Jack Sawyer. He could be that end. They said he has a high floor, all around 3-4 defensive end with a starting caliber projection. The question is whether you believe there is more for him as a pass rusher. If you do, you convince yourself that he's a top 20 player. If not, he's an early day 2 range. And I ain't gonna. Connor Martella says, please no to Jack Sawyer. Richard Russell's in here. He says, Coach Tyler told me you ratted on me. Yes, I threw you under the bus. I threw you under the bus. Willie Dot says Sawyer works. King Richard says Sawyer is a beast. Yeah, man. Look 6'5", 265. He has the frame. He's strong. Great first step. If you look at the stats, um, pass rush grade 89, uh, run defensive grade 82, pass rush win rate 17.6. I mean, look, if you want to fix the problem, you got to fix the problem. You got to go ahead and take things head on. Martella says, can you look up the UCLA edge? The UCLA edge. I'm trying to think about who you're talking about. The UCLA edge. Oh, talk about Oladeo. I mean, yeah, I mean, I like him. He's 6'3", 250. I feel like they'll put him a little bit more of they'll put him a little bit more as an outside linebacker. Um, I'm really looking for that edge guy. Kamen Rucker, he's also a good look as well. But look, let's go ahead and and shore everything up. So we're gonna go ahead and go Jack Sawyer at that edge, and we're finna double down and legitimately try to attack, try to get after the quarterback. We were really gonna try to get after the quarterback. Now, Chris Paul, Chris Paul Jr. I ain't talking about CP3. I'm talking about the linebacker out of Ole Miss. So look, this guy is very interesting. Um, he really turned it on a lot last year. Now, they said he needs to add on some mass to his frame, but he can eventually become a starting wheel linebacker. That's a weak side linebacker, guys. Thanks to his athleticism and intelligence, and he's from Cordele, Georgia. So it says his PFF ranked seventh among all FBS linebackers, and he was one of three who posted a 778 plus grades in run defense. I mean, look, he's playing pretty good run defense despite being undersized. He says coverage as a pass rusher, he's fluid and explosive player who rarely misses tackles. Paul's biggest issue are his lack of length and strength, which show up when he's taking on blocks. He says he projects as an impact special teamer while he adds weight to his frame. Once again, you're getting put in a situation where you could legitimately turn around and you're gonna have NFL teams watching your macros now. So look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm seriously considering, what we get a chance to do with a guy like Chris Paul Jr. So y'all tell me what y'all thinking. King Richard says Jeffrey Bosa, Jack Kaiser. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Jeffrey Bosa, Jack Kaiser. Like Luke with Kaiser. Now, let's see, y'all wrestling fans don't know nothing about that. Luke with Kaiser's little brother. Oh man. But y'all tell me what y'all thinking. Um Smitty, he says Chris Paul, he might be a little bit of a wild card. And I'm not knocking on that, Smitty. He definitely could be. Definitely could be. We got another crazy country boy in here. Yeah, Chris Paul, he could be a Deion Jones Jr. Then you got Tate Radledge. You want to shore up that offensive line. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, yeah, you do want to protect your asset, but you also want to be in a situation where, you we we got needs, guys. We legitimately got needs. We don't want to be a situation where we're saying, hey, we'll be good moving forward. Like, nah, we need to take care of the needs that we have. Dorian Strong, great cornerback, great cornerback, and he's from my squad, Virginia Tech. Strong, ironically, lacks some strength in press man coverage, which is something that he won't be running. Um, in run defensive situations near the line of scrimmage, he is a smart, competitive zone scheme running back with a natural ability to get his hands on passes and cause constant disruption at the catch point. Cause constant disruption at the catch point. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is one of my favorite players in this draft. 6'1", 185. He fits that cover three scheme very well. I know that we just said that we were going to run it back with glow, feel the glow. But moving forward, I mean, I really feel like I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Clark Phillips is a slot cornerback. I know that they try to run him on the outside last year, but I feel like he's a slot cornerback. I feel like you need, and I know that they're running it back with Mike Hughes, but one thing that Terry Fontenot does, one thing that he does, guys, is that he legitimately draft guys the year before he knows they're going to be coming in. I don't know if y'all noticed that. It's a pattern. Terry Fontenot drafts guys a year early. So, that's one of those situations. Um, uh, Adamsville, he says, I like Za more than I like Dorian. You just like Za, so you can say, like a fresh pack of Za. Hey, that's what that is. You just want to be referring to him as Za all the time. Like, man, Za just smoking them out. That's how that is, Adamsville. Oh man, I think Za's off the board. As a matter of fact, let's see if somebody done took him. Ooh, Ed Birch on to the Panthers. Ooh, Xavier uh Restrepo went to the Raiders. Where's I? Quinyon Judkins went to the Lions. That don't make no sense. Oh, Dylan Sampson to the Panthers. Man, they're gonna be running that thing all day. See him on there. They got Jason on here. 237 rank. That's crazy. That's crazy. Matt Towner here says, "What about Deion Walker?" What do they got him listed at? Matt Town. I don't know. I don't know which position they have him listed at. Jordan Phillips. I know that. I know the issue that I had with him. Um, look, this is one of your three technique guys, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I was kind of worried about his motor whenever I watched him. City says, "Hey man, we need a zero tech guy. Why you tripping?" Look, I agree with you. That's why I'm sitting here looking at him. 6'3", 320. But like I said, the thing about him is I just had issues with his motor. Let's see here. Out of Kentucky. There are a lot of walkers in this draft. I don't know if y'all noticed that. All right, so you got Deion Walker, 6'6", 345. I'm gonna say that one more time for the people in the back. 6'6", 345. 6'6", 345. He says Walker's measurables will jump out immediately, but his play on the field doesn't match the dominance suggested on paper. Says he's a versatile defensive lineman due to his lack of height. Oh yeah, sorry. Due to his height and length, he needs more precision in his pass rushes, and he must hold his ground more consistently to be more of a rotational player. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I don't need you to be the most skilled pass rusher. Like holding your ground, I definitely do need that. But I just need you to be as much of a threat where you could take on multiple blocks at one time. So I mean, that's definitely something. Um, Ascended, he says, "Hey man, we need that Don Terry Poe." And look, you're definitely right. He said he tips the scale, but his weight distribution is to his disadvantage. He carries a good amount of his weight in his midsection. Well, now wait a minute. Now hold on. You tripping now? Ain't no need a body shame. He says his calf and ankles are narrow. That's not good. This, along with him tending to pop up, that's not a good sign. Right out of his stance makes him easier to move, especially when he's being pushed laterally. He gives good effort for a big man and loves to get long arms up for pass breakups. So basically PFF body shamed this man. What's going on, April Thomas? Much love to you. Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Um, uh, Jay Murphy says, sounds about like Desmond Watkins size though. Yeah. So look, I don't know if y'all heard me rant in the past. Look, you could get guys, right? It's one of them situations where you could get guys, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, just because he's big, that doesn't mean he's a good football player, right? Um, they were just talking about his weight distribution. Look, he's a big guy. He has good size and everything, but at the end of the day, you definitely got to make sure that you first of all, if you 345, you got to hold your ground. First of all, second of all, if it's one of them situations where they talking about your ankles, they talking about your calves, that's definitely not a good thing. I'm gonna go with Chris Paul. I know, like Smitty, he compared him to Deion Jones. In the past, I feel like Deion Jones was a great player for us. I feel like the issue that Deion Jones had was he just didn't have the right people playing in front of him. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Chris Paul and see what we got going on moving forward. And Deion Walker's still on the board. Uh-oh, Terry Fontenot, he might be looking at Trevor Etienne. Y'all know he really likes the y'all know he really likes those offensive players. So he might be looking for Trevor Etienne a little bit later on down the road. So moving forward, um we got two edge rushers. We got a linebacker. Um so I mean, we still have a few options. We could go cornerback. We could actually go wide receiver. If we want to have a Desmond Ritter situation, we could go off and get Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. Like the possibilities are endless. Somebody mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream, hey, we do need that wide receiver that could put fear in the opposing safeties, so they could make sure that they play everything accordingly. Um, Tez Johnson says he won't be on every team's radar due to his outlier measurables. He's 5'10", 165. How big is Isaiah Bond? If I'm not, look, I bet Isaiah ain't no 5'10". I know that. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9". Um, he says, but he wins in just about every way he can, despite physical limitations. He brings an added level of competitiveness that coaches just will want around. They said despite small hands, a slender build, Johnson is reliable at catch point. He boasts top tier quickness that yields a 99 percentile in separation rate. His agility after the catch makes him tough to corral. He understands winning with nuance and technique. He is naturally limited as a blocker, but this is one of the many areas where his competitiveness shines. That sounds a lot like a Steve Smith, doesn't it? That sounds very Steve Smith-ish. Very Steve Smithish. So look, I mean we got a few options that we could take on. And look, Dre, I think that's one of them situations where you gotta consider, you still do have Casey Washington. You still do have Casey Washington. Smitty says Tez Johnson is a Deshaun Jackson clone. Descendant says, "Hey man, does Walker has the ankles of a fourth rounder? Don't forget the calves. Don't forget the calves, Bo." Oh man. Now, I realize this kid here. The only thing is, they said that he isn't a versatile player only due to his ability to play on two sides of the ball. He's versatile because he played along that old Miss defensive line. They say he has an excellent agility at over 300 pounds. I can completely commiserate with that. It says which allows him to win on the interior or on the edge. It says he's still learning how to play defense, which is evident at his slow reaction time on some runs. He also doesn't have great length or pad level. I mean, because he flipped. He used to play tight end back in the day. Um, but if a career at defensive tackle doesn't work out, he can always play fullback. I mean, look, I've always wondered why we never went out and got that guy that could come in and just go crazy. you know, just that big guy that could come in and just do it big. Now, this is a name right here that I've also considered. Um, Everybody talked about Hampton going crazy. Everybody talked about Hampton going crazy in North Carolina. This is one of the reasons why. They says uh, it's a fascinating case of a player testing the limits on how small a player can be on the offensive line. So they said back then he was 5'10", 270. Now, mind you, at the end of the day, one thing that you got to consider is I don't necessarily mind if my center is small. If my center is small, I mean I feel like he can kind of get up out of that snap and get out of there a little bit quicker. So I know everybody's talking about Ryan Newsel. They don't know if they could trust him. But I mean, moving forward, it's one of those cases where, you know, you can get somebody who could. Oh shoot! I just accidentally took Nick Nash. I was just searching for him. I did not mean to take him. Golly, what was I thinking? All right, well, King Richie, we got your boy. We got your boy Nick Nash. Oh my goodness. All right, so look, let's look at what we got with Nick Nash. 6'3", 195. I know that he is a speedster. They say he has good footwork and great releases. Oh man. They said he was a go-to target over the past 2 years and took it to another level in 2024, leading the country in receptions, receiving touchdowns, and receiving yards. Nash played more than 30% of the snaps in 2024 in the slot, as a big slot at 6'3", 195. Despite his plus size and length, he had dancer's feet. I'm pretty familiar with that. My feet have been referred to that in the past. Um, it says quick and controlled, uh, which you could tell he works on a lot. His releases off press are varied and throughout, as he understands how to attack different leverages with different releases. He is a bit stiff in his change of direction movements, especially when running near top speed, hurting his ability to separate. He has limited long speed, but his footwork for the size makes him very intriguing. So, yeah, we just made a Terry Fontenot pick. We just accidentally made a pick. Thanks, King Richie. Justice Rich says, Bo, Terry paid D Alford 3.2 million this year. What in the world, Bo? Man? Come on now. D Alford was not that bad. D Alford had a couple of games where he struggled a little bit, but it ain't a situation where he was just terrible. D Alford made a lot of big plays for this defense last year. We can't just sit here and just write D Alford off like, hey, he's just terrible. Man, this man sucks. First of all, we got to make sure that we support our own because D Alford is from Georgia. So we got to make sure that we support. Shouts out to Perry, Georgia, Macon, Georgia. Shouts out to D Offer, man. We got to make sure that we support our own. Dr. Slick, what in the world, bro? What's going on, man? Chris White says Dante Thornton 6'5", runs a 4.340. Yeah, but the thing about Dante, man, and shouts out to Coach Heifel, all the coaches out there at Tennessee. Dante, boy, it's like he didn't want to play ball sometimes. It's like it seems like he was always hurt. I don't know what was going on with him. Um, let's see if he even still on the board. Let's see here. Yes, I remember last year he played 9 games and 11 games for that. Okay, so he played the full season last year. Yeah, they don't even got scouting on him. Had 2 drops, 7 deep catches, and in that Tennessee offense, you don't got no choice but to catch deep passes. They had them boys lined up half of an ant's behind away from the sideline, running in motion. You don't got no choice but to catch deep passes. 376 yards. So wait a minute. This guy had hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know I'm a numbers guy. I gotta do this math. So he had 376 deep yards off of 7 deep catches. Wow. Wow. So he averaged 53 yards per deep catch? That's crazy. Wow. Okay. And I mean, let's keep it a buck. There were a couple times, there were a couple of games where Nico struggled mightily. Nico missed a few throws. I remember watching. We were actually at the game whenever they played Florida. Nico missed them like 2 times. So I mean, look, I mean Dante Thornton. That's definitely a good look, Bo. I ain't knocking you. That might have been a guy that we would have possibly taken instead of Nick Nash. It's King Richie fault at the end of the day. It's King Richie fault. Oh man. All right. So moving forward, is there a position that y'all think we need to shore up? We got 3 picks. Is there a position that y'all think we need to shore up? Y'all let me know in the chat. Is there a position that you think we need to go ahead and move towards or seriously consider? Um, I know that a lot of people they're worried about the whole safety position. I know a lot of people are worried about the cornerback position. Um, there are a few different directions that we can go in. But Huzzy, I know I just want to get him just so I can say, man, that's a man, and that guy's such a Huzzy. That's the main reason I wanted to get him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want to be like, man, he's such a Huzzy, But look, that's something that you might want to consider in the future. So Willie Doc says, let's look at some more offensive linemen. I feel like you can never go wrong with the Iowa guy. Chris White, Christopher White, he also said, let's look at some centers. Um, Keep it to A Big Low. We got Drake Mooney, Pitts, and now Nick Nash. Okay, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Oh man, we got old Chris Tip Moore. What's going on, Tip? Tip, can you hear me? Oh, I don't think Tip can hear me. Man, Tip probably over there shaking in fear. He's worried about he's worried about whenever he sees me on the basketball court. That's what that is. Shouts out to Chris Tip Moore. Hopefully he'll get a chance to jump on in a second. Um, Also Jonah's in here. Jonah Monheim. He's been consistent over the years, man. Over the course of his college football career, he's only given up 2 sacks. Great gap grade. Pass block grade could be a little bit better. Um, so I believe this would probably be the best center on the board for you. 6'5", 310. So he's a little bit up there. So he has the raw athleticism to succeed as a zone scheme. Once again, as a zone scheme center, if he can get stronger. His lack of length is the biggest deterrent to his success, and will likely prevent him from playing a swing role at other positions. So, I mean, look, basically they're saying he's going to be a center, nothing more, nothing less. Says he's a highly athletic player who played 4 of the 5 offensive line positions at USC. He put together 2 solid seasons at tackle before moving inside the center, where he did not allow a sack and earned the second highest PFF run blocking grade of his career. So, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact that they say he has the raw athleticism to be a good a good run zone blocking center, I got to go ahead and go with it. Got to go ahead and go with it. Would have went with Dante Thornton, but King Richie made us take Nick Nash. I think he sabotaged the stream. He made us take Nick Nash. All right, so we got two more picks left. Moving forward, we're just looking to shore things up. To be honest with you, we're looking to kind of get a little bit more beef on the offensive and defensive lines, or if there's a legitimate cornerback, or just a player out there that just kind of jumps off the board for us. I'll be honest with you. Whenever you get this deep in the draft, you get in round 7, round 6, you're looking for raw athleticism and potential. Raw athleticism and potential. If you can get those things, you know, at the end of the day, you're doing good. I heard about this kid, 5'11", 204. Um, the only thing what the doc said, yeah, you got McCullough. You got McCullough. That's the best long snapper in the league. Tabro says, what about Shiloh? Man, come on. You trying to bring the Sanders circus to the Atlanta Falcons. You trying to bring the Sanders circus to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm also going to put the chat. I'm also going to put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and do a mock draft with us, or come on here and chop it up a little bit. Y'all know we only do this a couple of times a year, right? As far as like the whole mock drafts, the live mock drafts with the coaching staff. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and come on here and see if anybody wants to, excuse me, could contribute to this mock draft. Cam Horsley, he's a guy that's been beside Aziriku, I believe for like the last 3 years. He's a legit guy. I think 305, 306, 6'4". Great pass rush win rate, 14.4% run stop rate. Like I said, we're looking for beef. We're looking for guys that could come in, play the position that they need to play, and help take this team to the next level. So we're going to go ahead and take them. Like I said, we got 2 edge rushers. We got a linebacker. We got a running back that King Richie made us take. We just got to make one more pick. Give me 1 second, King Richie. I'm going to break you on in just a second here. Hey, forget it. Let's go out and get a tight end. Gasson is intriguing due to his potential size. We're talking about potential sizes, and once again, Terry Fontenot, he always gets guys a year early. Let's go ahead and get us a tight end. Let's see what this draft grade looking like, Bo. Ooh, man, B+. Because I got an F. Thanks to King Richie. I got an F on this guy because you, King. What? Well,
Man, they probably saying we don't need no wide receiver.
man, they said he was a need. A wide receiver was the first need they had listed on there.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know why they give you an L, because when you go look at that man tape, him coming out there, he had the most touchdowns out of anyone in college, any wide receiver in college coming out of the slot.
They said he had the most catches last year, period.
That's what made, because see, I'm gonna tell you what made me go watch Nick Nash, because what's his name? Steve Smith. He judging all the wide receivers.
Yeah, man, I love to watch him.
So he was like, as far as a slot receiver, and when he said it, you know who I was thinking about, Ray Ray. So if you could possibly cut Ray Ray, save a little money, get Nick Nash, and now you do got a basketball team now, but everybody over 6'2", and he's still a speed guy.
Man, look, you can't beat that.
That's what I was thinking about, honestly. I was thinking because remember the one I wanted to see, he went to Minnesota or something, Rondale Moore. That's who I was waiting to see with Penny.
Man, yeah, I thought he was finna take off. I thought he was finna take off for us. But man, he got hurt. Man, it messes up.
So I'm looking at, okay, well, and he blocked. That's what made me think about it, because I'm like, well, if he blocked, you don't always have to sit Kyle Pitts up there to block. Cause we know, I don't know why they send that man out there to block.
Man,
They
come on,
know Kyle Pitts is not a blocking tight end. He tried, but you can't. You remember when he had to block Daniil Hunter?
bro. Come on, man. Come on,
Like,
man.
why would you even put him in that position?
Come on, man.
Then you had him try to help. Man, I'm talking about low, man. That game when we played Pittsburgh and they had him try to help Caleb McGarry. Do you know Kyle did go back and watch that game? Kyle literally stepped out the way.
I saw that. I saw
Like
that.
he made a business decision.
He did, bro. It's like he looked like he was scared. Like sometimes Kyle Pitts, you see him stick his nose in there and block legit, and then other times you be like, "Dang, man, come on, Kyle."
But I sort of understand when it comes to TJ Watt. Ain't no, because you know they talk shit on the field, so ain't no
Man,
sense.
T.J. Watt, another man. He
You
another
don't know
man,
what
just like
he told
everybody else.
Kyle Pitts. Because matter of fact, the Falcons were trying to go after that basketball player that they converted to tight end with Carolina.
What what player?
I can't think of his name. I just remember he's 6'6", 255 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember. I remember who you talking about. I remember who you talking about. They also got old Smitty on here. What's going on, Smitty?
That's why I couldn't understand why you get an F for Nick Nash, because usually when I do the mark, he gone by the third round for real.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that you done messed my draft up.
I know I did.
You owe me some money, not King. Like what in the world? Come on now. Nobody else got an F. I don't know what you done did. You done took over my computer or something. Daggone. Man.
Cause
But
they
look,
said we needed a wide receiver, so I don't know. Maybe they think
yeah.
you took them too high. I don't
I mean,
know.
I don't know. I mean, I know that, look, anytime you get a guy that can create separation, um, I don't know the extent of all the other wide receivers on San Jose State. Like I don't know if he's just the only one that was legit or whatever. But look,
But
anytime
see, after watching the film with Steve Smith Jr. or whoever that is, that's really what changed my mind on even touching a wide receiver, because I don't want nothing offense. I'm gonna be honest, not for real. I don't even want a center because I trust Newsel.
yeah, I mean, but you still gotta have you gotta have a backup, bro. Like you gotta have somebody else that could come in there and
Ain't
Hey,
Gwen the
Patrick, I like
backup?
that. I like that pick right there. That last pick, Rondé Gaston the second.
now
I
is
think
that
it's.
is that the
I
other what you call it, Gas and Son?
Yeah, I remember his dad when he played for the Dolphins back in the day.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. But I like Rondé, man, because he's about 6'6". The dude has hands just like them web things you use to pick that fish up at the catfish out the grease. Um,
What you talking about, Smitty?
but
What in the world?
his run out to the catch, man. He's a legit red zone target, man. And Rondé Gaston, he would be a great addition to the Falcons.
Look, I mean, if it's a situation you get him in the seventh round, with as productive as he was in college,
Nah,
I
he ain't
mean,
making it past the fourth. I'm
nah, I
sorry,
don't think so. I don't think so. I
Do you
mean,
think we take a kicker in the seventh, or you think we wait to see the undrafted free agent?
undrafted,
well, I mean, they took that guy from
undrafted.
Germany though, right? Kier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Oh
I don't,
yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't think they
But you
really
got to
looking.
think too. Koo was a free agent when we got him. He got cut from the Chargers, so
Yeah,
he was out there just floating around and came in for a workout and made the team.
Yeah, true.
So kicker ain't really no problem.
man. Look, I ain't mad at it. I think you know, just like King Richie said, it's a situation where I believe you want to look into going heavy in the draft. As far as defense goes, but I mean, if you see a guy there that you know he's going to help your team, I mean, you kind of got to go for it. It's kind of like what everybody in the coach staff said a little bit earlier. It's like, hey, there's a good backup center out there. I mean, you kind of got to go ahead and make that move.
Yeah, but I'm looking at a guy that's probably gonna be undrafted, either seventh round or undrafted. That Boston College center. He was a 4 year starter, and I watched his tape, and he could be a legit starting center in the NFL.
Yeah, I watched his tape too. He's legit. I mean, one thing about them Boston College guys, man, it's like I don't know who the offensive line coach is there, but like all those Boston College guys, they're legit. Like they just teach them great technique. You
Right.
know, I mean, whenever I look at Chris Lindstrom, I mean, I know everybody's talking about the 500. I mean, I don't necessarily call it a 600-pound squat,
Yeah,
but
I
I
saw that.
mean, did y'all see how low he got? I mean, he looked like he
Yep.
sat on a stool and just stood back up. I don't consider that
Hey,
as a squat.
and I seen a lot of people joke at him about that because he didn't go all the way down. But I kept trying to tell him he not trying to break nothing and prove nothing. He just trying to
Nah,
get stronger in the
yeah,
legs. It's not that deep.
Man,
yeah,
look here. Let me tell you something, boy. First of all, whenever I was in school, we didn't box squat. It was straight squatting.
right,
And then whenever moving forward, um, now, whenever I was coaching, they started trying to do the box squat, and we were like, okay, I mean, look, we can do the box squat. You know what they did? Did you know what they squatted on? They squatted on a milk crate. That's how low they got. They squatted on a
Oh
milk crate.
yeah.
So I mean, look, I mean, I understand it. I feel like it's kind of like a variation of like that box bench press. First time I ever seen it done is when J.J. Watt did it. Whenever they put that wooden block on his chest, and he only went down so far, but that was
right,
just so he could work on those triceps. I mean,
right.
so I mean, I feel like that's kind of like the same thing he was working on, but you know, I don't feel like that's a situation where that's worth being posted. I mean,
Hey, at least he ain't out here pulling forward F-150s low.
Yes.
wow. Wow, really? Wow.
Wow,
You had to take us
you
back to
wow.
that.
Nah, cause that's what. See, when I read the comments, the way people were joking at it, cause I'm gonna be honest, we done got mean as Falcons fans, and I done started noticing it in some of these groups, cause it's like nothing satisfied. No, I've watched people put up mock after mock after mock, and folks just nobody happy about nothing. I'm like, damn, when we get like we the angry fan base now.
Hey man,
Nah, everybody. Nah, the problem is everybody just want to be right.
pretty much. Pretty much. At the end of the day, man, look, at the end of the day, whenever you continuously lose over and over and over again, and it gets to the point where it's almost like you're making it an art to just
Right.
find different ways to lose. That's why the fan base gets so angry. Because
No, cause I seen people. It
Pretty
was
much.
one guy. He has. I don't know how he did it. He got old boy from Oregon and Kenneth Grant, and people were still complaining. I'm like Harmon. I think that's his name.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
Somehow
was
he was
complaining
able to
too.
finagle Harmon and Kenneth Grant, and
I
folks.
complained about that too, though. Because what you gonna do with two defensive tackle when you need an edge rush? Unless one of those guys can play end a 4-3 end. If they can, then yeah, that's fine.
Well, true, but it just seemed like nothing made nobody happy. Just out of all the mocks I
Oh yeah,
seen,
that's all the time.
Yeah, it seems like that's the case every year. That's the case every year,
Man, you
unless
got
you.
you got you got negative Nates that just gonna have something negative to say no matter what you do. That just part of the game that you got to adjust to.
cause it was people mad when they posted the post about trading up for Jalen Walker.
Man, look, I posted about Abdul Carter earlier and people lost their mind.
I mean, look, if it's a situation where you're talking about somebody who could be as impactful as Michael, Michael Parsons. You know,
And but you know what the argument was, and I sort of felt it, but I didn't because I like Jalen Walker. They was like, this ain't the dog defense that you go pick from. We should have picked from the last two years out of the defense when we had the chance. They feel like this Georgia defense ain't really that defense.
Yeah, but think about Abdul Carter though. Yeah, you might be giving up a lot, but if you getting an elite talent, you just got your franchise quarterback next year. Now you start working on the other side of the ball. That's the building block. You got AJ Terrell, you got Jesse Bates. Yeah, so he a building block.
True, true.
now,
But
You gotta start somewhere.
did y'all want to do a draft?
It's
we
up to you,
can.
bro. I ain't got nothing but time.
Me too. I ain't gonna lie. Me too.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, fellas. I was supposed to be replacing a garbage disposal in the kitchen, but
Well, Ronnie gonna kick you in your throat.
you already know it. In between the wash machine and the dryer.
Boy.
So, with that being
With, with,
said, on to
with
the
some
mock draft.
she gonna do it with some dry sheets.
All right. So, y'all let me know what y'all think it is. This situation where y'all considering trading up, staying still, or trading back?
Did we get some offers?
I mean, so you'll get your offers once you get to that 15th pick.
Okay, okay. Because
But
I
I
ain't
ain't
never
know.
used this simulator.
Oh, no, you good. But the question is, are you y'all considering trading up though?
What you think, Smitty? Because I know Cleveland won't Kurt.
I'm trading up, man. The hell with it. Like I said today earlier, y'all can go check it out. Um, yeah, man, just go for it. It's just time. We talked about the Julio trade. Me and Lo been talking about that for 2-3 years. It's time to make that type deal again. I mean, Julio
And
paid
I
off.
don't
You
think we
want,
ever made a deal like that for a defensive player, have we?
no. John Abraham, but that was a 3-team trade.
Yeah. And that wasn't like a draft pick trade
That
either.
wasn't a draft pick. That was a trade.
So which team would you want to trade with, Smitty?
I got to go Cleveland because I don't think Abdul Carter gonna fall past 2. I'm sorry. I mean, I hear Shador Sanders. I hear Travis Hunter. I
The
just don't think
crazy thing is
they'll be
everything I
stupid.
seen got Shador going to New Orleans. I took a picture of it today to post in the group. I'm glad you said that 'cause I forgot to post it. Every ESPN mock draft got Shador going to New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a show with my boy TJ here, Saints part a Saints content creator. So we might talk about that a little bit.
Oh, Smitty, you have to give up the farm, bro.
Hey,
So
it is what it is, bro. I mean, look, you only live once, bro. And Terry job is on the line, so he might as well just go for it.
so if you trade the first and second pick this year, the first round pick next year,
Can you trade a player with that or just the picks?
I believe so. Hold on 1 second.
You can trade a player, but who do you trade?
I say give them Kirk Cousins, keep our 15th pick, and give them a first round next year, and give them our second.
I don't think they're gonna fly. He's
They said that's
37
a
years old.
they said that's an
If that
84% chance.
Hey, if that worked, the whole thing gonna short circuit.
They said it's an 84% chance. Let's see if it happens.
Wow.
They took it.
So now we
Wow.
got a Cleveland third and our 15th. Now get who you want, Smitty. Knock yourself out.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to start it over. Apparently, I didn't put the trade in correctly. Hold on.
Oh
That's
man.
why it didn't work.
That's all right. Yeah, I can edit.
All right. So if you trade with the Cleveland Browns, you get their second. You say you want to trade your second, your second round pick in the first round next year. And you want to
Kirk
try to trade
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Let's just see if it works.
Oh, for some reason it's not letting us pick that second pick.
See, didn't I tell you? It's
It's too
short
good
circuited.
to be
I
true.
told you.
It's too
I
good to be
told you.
true.
Nah, I'm just simulating something that could happen on draft night though. We might can end up keeping our 15th and because I seen Blackberry do it and it worked for Blackberry.
Yeah, shouts out to
Wow.
Blackberry. All right. Yeah, so I got that second pick selected.
You know, first
He
next
just don't
year.
want to give it up.
Oh,
He
okay.
just don't
I
want to
think I hit the
give it
wrong.
up.
I hit the wrong button, y'all. My bad. I hit the wrong
Look
button.
at you, man.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. So you got that. Yeah. So all right. So you made that trade. So you traded that second pick. Um, you traded for that second pick. You traded your second round pick and a first round next year and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
All right. So we're
Cause
gonna
we
start
still take
now.
that 15th and trade back and still get some more.
All
Man,
right.
y'all done rigged up the
So who you want, Smitty? Just get who you want. Get who you want.
who let me see who on the board.
You got Abdul Carter here, who
Oh,
has the
that's who I want all day long.
6'3", 252. It's hard not to see some Michael Parsons in Carter, who not only wears number 11, but also pops off the screen nearly every play due to being a rare caliber athlete. If he can get even stronger, he has all pro potential as a player worthy of a top 5 pick.
And he can play in any scheme 4-3 or 3-4.
All right, so we're going Abdul Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, pimps and players, Abdul Carter. This is the Carter.
Do we get a trade offer? The trade back?
So you got two trade offers actually.
Well,
So you
you're
got
gonna keep getting a Denver trade.
yeah, you got Denver and you got Houston. Mind you, Malachi Starks is on the board.
And that's where I would go. No doubt
Malachi
about it.
Starks is on
They
the
go
board.
start then. So we ain't got trade with nobody because they're gonna show up a defense right there anyway, almost.
Two game change. You win the draft with those two picks.
I accidentally did the first round. My bad.
Man, look at you.
My bad. It was too good to be true.
Boy, way too
Good to be
good.
true.
Boy, they
But
could
still,
pull that off on draft night though. Would you be mad about that first round next year?
Nah, I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
no, it's just a draft pick, man. Think about it. How many times we done failed in the first round on edge rushers?
Have we? When the last time we went edge rusher in the first round?
Vic
Uh,
Beasley. No, Tat
Oh yeah.
McKinley. Tat McKinley.
all right,
Grandma.
so we're going Abdul Carter. Then we went Malachi Starks.
Yep.
So we don't got another pick to 118 now.
That's fine. We won the draft.
All right, so what
Oh,
y'all think?
we can go get our center now. Is he up there?
The Jared Wilson up there. That's what I was just about to say. You read my mind. He probably gone. Yeah, he
We
gone.
messed their whole draft up, Smitty.
No, I mean we good. I like that offensive line from USC. Yeah, he can play all. He's versatile. That's what you need
Willie
on this
Lump.
offensive line. Man, boy, I ain't heard that in a long time. Boy, you showing your age with that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name
Who
of
at
the
the
one
cornerback?
Ryan we're talking about, Smitty?
Who at the cornerback position? The kid out of whatever Alabama A&M and William and Mary. I think his name Charles Grant.
Oh, I like Alexander.
I like Noah Williams. Noah Williams, super athletic.
Oh yeah, that's a cover 3 corner right there.
Oh yeah, 6'2". Oh yeah.
What's the other one, Smitty? One you were talking about?
No Williams.
Strong press man corner. Plays physical and how he covers receivers. He wants to dictate contact right at the snap with good, strong hands out of a receiver's release. He's comfortable hand fighting all the way through the route, but it could get him in trouble. Sounds like Robert Alford. As he
Yep.
can get a bit grabby, especially against vertical routes. Sounds like Robert
And,
Alford.
and another former Packer, Al Harris.
Yes. Yeah, you run it down the field trying to take people's clothes off.
Oh man.
Who at
And Roger
safety? Is
Wake on the
Malachi
street.
Moore at safety?
Well, you drafted Malachi Starks already, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We got
Never
starts.
mind.
Yeah, yeah. So what defensive tackle looking like? Is my boy Alfred Collins still on the board? Probably not.
Caldwell. Yeah, all
Ty
right.
Robinson, he a sleeper. I
Yeah, he
think
is.
he gonna shock some people. He was one of the highest graded defensive linemen in the country last year.
Shit, we need to get him
Pressure
then.
win rate.
Yeah. He got 6 sacks last year. And he got 25 hurries. Consistently gets a lot of hurries.
Yep.
Might need to go and snatch him then.
Just don't do like old King Richie and mess around and
Get
That
Nick.
that kind of reaching that over because he said he ranked 192nd. When we pick
yeah,
again?
yeah.
Oh,
You
he'll
pick
probably be
again at
gone next
218.
time. Yeah, he'll be gone. See anybody else you been scoping?
You talking me or Richie?
You.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know it ain't gonna be Nick Nash. I know that.
Lord ain't gonna let me live that
He
one.
tried it. Barrett Carter would be a sleeper right here.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's still on the board.
Willie Lampkin. I think that might be a good move. Just like King Richie said, it's like I trust Ryan Newsel, but I also want a guy who could step in just in case something happens, or
But the only thing with Lampkin though is we got a guy just like that in Javon Gwynn, already on the roster, an undersized guard center type player.
yeah, but the thing is that obviously he just ain't ready. I mean,
Yeah,
over the
true.
years, it's like they tried to run with him before, and it just wouldn't.
Just wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't holding up.
I got a feeling they might be moving on from him this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Now I know that as far as the guys that you have as far as linebacker, whenever you consider the JD Bertrands, the Diablos, and Caden
Ellis, yeah.
Andersons of the world.
Still need a thumper.
Yeah, you still need a thumper. Like you still need a.
What about Bassel?
From
I
what
think
team?
he gone. He must be gone.
I remember looking at him. I was like, man, this guy's so overrated. But it's one of them situations with him. He played at Texas. He's gonna get a shot.
Yeah, pretty much. That Jaden Blue running back, he gonna be a Pierre Thomas type running back at the next level.
Yeah. So what y'all thinking?
I'm gonna let y'all take this pick. I took the first one.
Well, look, Dre Harrison said, grab Barrett. So
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and
Barrett was one of my sleeper picks. Ryan, what's up, man?
what's going
Ryan from
on,
the
Ryan.
Bird Cage. What's good? Man,
All
Richie,
right,
what is you doing, man? You sound like you unwrapping the whole meal over there.
tell me.
Oh man, my tooth went to hurt, and I had to get a goodie powder and a
Oh
coat.
man, the goody
Well, I
powder
gotta
and
get
the
it.
coat.
Well, I gotta get another one pulled soon.
Yeah, that's the only thing that worked for real.
Yep, that's true.
Man, that you talking about a fall from grace, boy.
Man, boy, you just don't know how many times I done said that. He
I
got that
mean,
fumbling problem though, so
yeah,
that's and then another running back that I see keep falling to the 7th round, Donovan Edwards
I
from
saw that.
Michigan.
Didn't
That's
North
crazy.
Carolina have a running back they say supposed to be a beast?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hampton.
he'll be a first rounder. Omarion Hampton. Big John said use Oragel.
But that don't work. Been there, done that. I'm literally talking about the only thing that work is goody powder and some ibuprofen.
Man, boy, that's rough right there.
Boy.
You tried that MD 2020?
Oh, that gonna make it hurt worse.
Dang, oh
Well, you know you country.
man, boy.
Yeah, every time I try to
They
drink
don't
some
call you
alcohol,
country
man,
for
my mouth
nothing.
killing me.
Yep, didn't I tell you? He said I told you Ty Robinson was gonna be gone. He went to
Hmm.
the Raiders at 215.
Yeah, that would have been a good pickup.
What
That
pick
would.
we at now?
You got
I
pick
got a
218.
I got a question for y'all. Should should we look into drafting a running back this year at some point? Because we don't really know what's gonna happen with Tyler Algier. I feel like he should stay, but he may want his own spot to try for a number one position, and he could probably get more money. And if y'all follow my page, y'all would see that I said Pittsburgh would be a likely spot for him because Arthur Smith drafted him and he fits what Pittsburgh likes to do.
Especially since Pittsburgh can't get Kirk now.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like once again, it's like I was saying a little bit earlier. I feel like Terry Fontenot always drafts players a year early. Um, I feel like that's why they got Jason McClellan last year.
I just
Okay,
do.
I
You
can see
talking about
that.
the guy out of
I can see that.
Alabama?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. He don't have a year in the system. I can see that.
Hmm.
I'm just not fond of him for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, he'll jump off the screen whenever he plays. He
But
just looks like a running
I
back.
don't I don't think Kirk going to Pittsburgh because like I put out yesterday, there are reports that Arthur Smith not getting good feedback on Kirk, so I couldn't
Oh
see him.
yeah, I seen that one that you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
couldn't see that.
at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith are made for each other. Jerks always congregate around other jerks. So
Oh man, you out of
Now he
control.
already been out there with DJ Metcalf, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he going to Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers just dragging this out because that's the kind of guy Aaron Rodgers is.
oh, did we get a center already?
No, I
Go
can't
back to the
look.
centers real quick. Cause that guy, I think he out of Wyoming. No
You can go
four
look at your
something.
picks right there next to full draft.
Yeah, we got Barrett Carter.
No center. Honestly, bro, I think you rolling with that USC lineman. That was a good pick, man.
Yeah. I think that was a real good pick because he could play pretty much any.
Hell, I actually like. Did I say Jackie Slater? Jackson Slater. I was gonna say that's his name, Drew Kendall. He's another one. That's the Boston College lineman I was talking about.
Hmm. I know they had. I know Cooper was still down here.
That Cade Mays' brother.
Hmm. Yeah, I met him. He's a good kid.
Who Cooper Mays?
Hmm.
Cool.
Okay, Boston College keeps some good offensive linemen.
Run block grade 81 and a half. So he got a mean streak.
What's his pass block grade? I can't see the screen.
81.
81.
Yeah, let go with him because I ain't. Hey, Boston College ain't never let me down on offensive linemen.
6'4", 299.
Ooh, he gonna have to pick up some weight.
Yeah, probably about 10 pounds.
All right, you got one more pick.
I like that Gaston pick.
Oh, I think he might be gone, Smith.
Like I said, boy, I used to watch his dad down with OJ McDuffie and them in Miami, boy. Boy, wasn't no joke. His dad like 6'6", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, jokes be running all over the field.
Long arms. Yeah. He built just like him. That ain't no George Kittle type tight end, is it?
That's what I was looking at. He said he's 6'6", 247 due to his pedigree.
Blocking wide, blocking.
He said you gotta get quicker and stronger.
Mm.
Like I said, at this point, you just looking for straight potential. You looking for athletic
Why
freak.
why is Graham Mertz on the board? He shouldn't even be on the draft thing, period.
Man,
That dude can hit the barn with a bar soap.
come on, man. He was a quarterback in the SEC.
True.
That's all it takes. Man, boy, that whole second, bro. I sit through one of their secondary meetings, bro.
They were
They,
lost.
you talking about a dumpster fire? Oh my god. Patrick
What they want?
Surtain is the secondary's coach, and it was at one point he was just shaking his head.
What they want? Reading the scheme in the zones, right?
Nah, they were trying to draw it with an etch and sketch. It was
Oh
terrible.
Lord.
It was terrible. I've never been in like a position meeting where it was so clueless.
Boy.
Is that cornerback from Villanova still though? All we could get is Xavier Trust.
Georgia good. I mean, Falcons good for just picking some random Georgia player
Boy, what you talking about?
and just saying,
They
huh?
picked one last year. That didn't work out. Ain't that Lacey kid that got in trouble?
Uh huh.
Man, dude got so much talent.
What he get in trouble for?
That's the one that had the domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dang, they ain't even draft him.
Yeah, he was at one point a third round grade. But when he got in trouble, he just failed. But that what happens.
Yeah, cause Philly GM, I think that was their GM or head coach got on there. He said anybody do anything against a woman, we ain't going.
Mm-hmm.
Dan
Dan
Jackson could be a
Jackson.
hybrid type player. I think he gonna be a linebacker at the next level. They got him in safety, but I think he can play linebacker if he pick up a couple pounds.
I realized he was just 195.
Yeah, but I'm saying he hit like a linebacker. He
And
played
Kirby,
downhill like a linebacker.
Kirby used to cuss him out so much, boy.
Boy, what you talking about?
Oh my god. So at Georgia's practices, Kirby walks around with a wireless microphone, and they have two separate practice fields, and he just
Wow.
he just walks around like just yelling into the microphone. Like, "What is wrong?" And bro,
He go
whenever I give Dan Jackson the business, oh,
Dan Jackson call out a place a lot. Like Gaston gone. He went to the Texans to pick before.
What DT on the board?
But it was
What?
that hit and
Nope.
run. Absolutely. I forgot about that. Yep, damn sure was. Hit
Shout
and run.
Shouts out to my homeboy, Chris Tip Moore in here. What's going on, Tip?
Yo,
Doing all right tonight, bro?
hey man, yeah, I know. I was gonna jump in a little earlier, but your boy had to go ahead and record his Hawks Digest video. So
Oh, okay.
you know, what
What
I'm
Howard
saying
cross what Howard
Go
cross
down low.
because I actually remember his dad.
See if Bigger's still on there from Georgia Tech.
Oh, that's a big dude. That is a space eater and a buffet eater.
Or what about the guy from
and
Florida
trust me,
State?
my boy Smitty know about them buffets. So
That big boy
Check
from Florida State ain't on there no more.
Oh no, he probably been gone.
Yeah, you gotta get the boy named Thor, right?
6'2", 320.
hey, you better watch it. Don't let it be a smoke signal.
He run defense pretty good.
Mhm.
Say he played the best game against the Hurricanes, which was a nationally ranked team.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can get him then.
Sounds like
What round y'all in, by the way?
7th
Last
round.
one.
Oh, 7th
Yeah,
round. Okay.
Yeah.
What we get?
Hey,
What
my
y'all got
So
so far?
so somehow we got off of Kirk
Okay.
Cousins somehow. So we
You
won the
said we got
draft
all.
just by
Oh,
doing
oh,
that.
oh, Lord, I see. Oh, God. Hey, if it play out like that, though, you did good because you still kept 15. I mean, you
Yeah,
lost
we ain't got no
46,
first
but
next year though.
oh yeah.
Nah.
yeah, you had to get it up.
If
I mean, you
everything
gotta
go all
give.
right
I
out
mean, you
you with
gotta
Carter,
give something to get something, right? I mean, you
if
Hello.
gotta
everything go
give
good
something
with
to get
Carter, we
something.
good. Yeah.
But
You
I
don't
ain't
even
gonna
think
lie to
about
you. You
that
got
before.
Carter and Starks though, and you still got Barrett Carter, the other Carter later.
Right.
I ain't mad at that, fellas. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. And you got okay, and look at you got Drew Kendall. I'm pretty sure that was a big low pick right there, though.
Why you say that?
I'm pretty sure that was a big low pick right there, man. You know, good man. We got to get into the trenches, and then plus I heard you earlier how about how well your thoughts are about Boston College and their offensive line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That
can't lie though. I had a hand in that because one thing I can
the
honestly
hand in that
say,
King.
no, Corey, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Every time I used to watch, I used like okay, my little cousin used to play for University of Kentucky. So it's
Mm.
Oh,
certain
okay. Shout
games
out to
that I
him.
had to watch, and Boston College was just one of them that was just on when we be in Kentucky. And I was like, no wonder Matt Ryan was who he was at Boston College because they keep some good offensive linemen. They just
Bro,
do.
they always blocking, boy.
Nah, they block. They block well, man. I mean, ask Chris Lindstrom. Shoot, man.
And
You
his
know?
little brother.
Yeah. So
Because I
just
was
saying.
thinking the only reason why I wouldn't say really run to replace Jake Matthews is because if you remember, Bergeron came in as a tackle.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
So
Man,
you may
my thing with Bergeron, man, I love him at guard though.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
ain't
don't
no
know.
point in moving him. I think I'm telling you, depending on how this draft fall, if somebody top on their board is gone, just expect Kevin Banks at 15. I
Mm.
just see it. And I said it last year. Don't be surprised if we go offensive line in this draft because you got to have somebody that can block Penny's blind side. McGarry, not that dude.
I'm saying though, but McGarry, okay, take it in consideration. McGarry since 2022 is sixth overall in pressures. Like that gotta account for something. And last year was his like best year in pass pro, and I mean running is his thing, but pass pro. that was like his best year. Y'all don't think McGarry could possibly, just possibly, still be serviceable enough to protect his blind side?
I do honestly. I mean, think about it. Last year was his best year with Kirk Cousins, who what was it, standing?
Couldn't move.
You know,
And yeah, he was stationary. You know what
so
I'm saying? He
yeah,
wasn't nothing but old leg press. Couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? He was just staying right there.
Now that's
You gotta
what
give
made
credit
me
to
wonder.
Dwayne Leffler for that.
But that's what made me wonder: is that the reason they got that tight end out of Houston as well?
Well, no, they got Charlie Warner if they want to block. So I mean,
Yeah, they do got Warner. They do.
Caleb
They do.
McGarry's
They are
number this
bringing
year is
Warner back.
14. His number this year is his cap hit is 16.5 this year, and his dead cap is just $2 million.
Well, you always could have asked Felipe Franks to block.
Let's see which way the draft go. Man, please. That dude couldn't block a 2-year-old from jumping on the couch.
I don't know though. Felipe got that dog in him though.
which one? Chihuahua? Shit.
Now
Now,
on special teams, he do got that dog in him on special teams.
Good. Oh, he a Kane Corso on special teams. Gotcha.
Nah, you don't remember that he put on what you call it last year on special teams?
King. Monkeys fall.
No, I ain't gonna lie. He did lay homes out. I give him that.
Monkeys
He
fall
did.
out of trees sometimes. Don't get caught up in that one hit.
I know.
Hey, that's true. That's
You
true.
can.
Hey, I'm gonna give him his credit. Hey, it was a nice hit for Felipe. I get
Look,
to him.
it's like walking around the streets of Chicago. You're gonna catch somebody lacking after a while.
The walk around. He said, "Oh Lord." So eventually you gonna catch somebody lacking. I mean, I'm just saying, like Felipe ain't out there, being Matt Bosher or nobody,
Wow.
Matt Bosher a late lumber boy.
You took it back then, boy. They were drug testing Matt Bosher.
They sure was.
Boy.
They just knew he was.
Oh
on
yeah,
top.
the very next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
They said, "Oh no, sir, absolutely not." You know who we are. We're the NFL. You got us messed up, sir. Come on in here and get that specimen. And yeah.
Ain't nobody on the Falcons ever hit nobody that hard.
Shoot, him and Julio got some of the best hits.
Man, Julio could have played safety if he wanted to.
Man, what that?
Nah, you don't remember when they used to put Julio back there on the prevent?
Yeah, Julio got about 3 or 4 picks just off of that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, bro? And man, Julio, remember that time where it was almost an interception and Julio peeked it out and hit the Cowboys defender?
Yeah, I remember.
I'm talking about knock this block off.
That's just a well-coached player right there.
Pretty much.
That's just a well-coached.
He just be in the film room extra time paying attention.
Mm-hmm. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Matt and Roddy both say. I'm sorry, Julio and Roddy both say Matt a few times to keep it real. When you think about the times where they were on offense and they had to go from offense to play defense. A couple of times, Roddy Wright ran down guys and knocked the ball out from behind.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I remember that.
Shoot, he did with San Fran like that too.
Joe did.
Yep.
Well, Dre Bly. I think it was Dre Bly picked off Matt Ryan, was running the back, kind of being lackadaisical. Roddy ran his behind down, knocked the ball out. We got it right back, and I think we won that game.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Look, at the end of the day, those Falcons teams, man, that's one of those things where it's hard to get back. I mean, that's what I always say. I mean, a lot of people might not like it. I feel like Mike Smith was the best coach in Falcons history.
Yeah.
Those were the best coach teams.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I used to tell people,
that's when we were consistently going to the playoffs.
Exactly.
Like consistently.
But one thing that I loved about Mike Smith that I hated about Arthur Smith, Mike Smith did not play about them penalties. Period.
No.
Offense or defense, he ain't play about them penalties.
You want to see Mike Smith get red? Get multiple penalties.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
He started writing in that little notebook.
Oh yeah.
You remember that one
Low,
time he
not
got
the
mad?
notebook, low.
And
Hey, you don't remember that one time he got mad and just started picking the grass up out the ground?
Yes, bro. And I
Yep.
was saying Mike Smith was a trip, man. I love Smitty though. I
And
ain't
he used
gonna
to
lie to
always
you.
say,
I
man,
did.
he used to always say, man, don't beat yourself. He used to always say that.
Mhm.
Don't beat yourself.
pause.
Yeah. That's why you had that. That's why you had that philosophy.
That's what
But
you
one
asked
thing
for.
I can say, boy, he had everybody on that defensive line 320 or better.
I mean,
Hey,
look, man. At the end of the day, the biggest issue, and I don't know why like this is the case. It's like every time we get a head coach who specializes in whatever they specialize in, for some reason we just can't do it. Whenever we get a coach who specializes in defense, I be doggone. We can't
Defense
get a
awful.
quarterback to save our life. We get a coach that specializes in offense.
mm-mm.
Doggone, we
But
can't
but
move the ball. We just need to
but
get a
can
coach
we
that specializes in losing. If we got a coach that
Come
specializes,
on, low. Come
we
on, man. Keep it in the road, man.
but can we agree to this though? Raheem Morris screwed himself by bringing in Jimmy Lake last year.
He
Oh, we
did.
know that.
oh yeah, I
We know
agree
that.
with that.
Yeah, so I mean,
But you
but it
know
was a
what's
hard
crazy,
lesson learned.
Smitty? If I'm Terry, ain't no way you bringing in a first year offensive head coach and a first year defensive head coach. You're gonna have to pick one. I'm sorry. That just, but you know what that led me to believe? He
I
wanted
would have definitely said
Ulbrich
that.
the whole time, but Ulbrich just wasn't available.
I can see that because
Possibly.
you had guys like Gus Bradley that was available who ran the same defense in Los Angeles. But you mean to tell me you rather go Jimmy Lake? That just didn't make sense.
Yeah, man. It was tough. I
Talk
mean,
about
again, I go back to what I said too. I mean, it also was he didn't have to worry about anybody breathing over his neck either.
Yeah.
You know, these are two first year guys who are trying to, pay their dues, and he's giving them an opportunity. Yeah, but he definitely
Right.
don't have anyone looking over his shoulder.
Right.
You know,
You
and
know,
Hey,
it's a
Lo, can you go to
possibility
that
Zach
question at the
Robinson
bottom
could
of
be
the
gone
screen right
after this
quick?
year.
you talk about the same Jimmy Lake who was the head coach of Washington, University of Washington, and they win like 2-3 games, and then Caleb
Yep.
DeBoer came in the next year and took them to the national championship.
I'm talking
Yep.
about the very next year. The very next year.
That's just how bad his
Come on,
coaching was.
bro.
But
but
to answer that question, anonymous reviewer, if they did get Hendrickson somehow, I would definitely go Barron or Starks because like I said, you get that one edge rusher to go along with Leonard Floyd. Um, I think you got to go cornerback or safety at that point. You got to think about the future because Jesse Bates got what 1 or 2 years left, so you got to have somebody take his spot if he leaves. So yeah, and I think Barron, he's one of those people that can play inside, outside, safety, anything you need him to play. He's just that versatile, and he's a ball hawk.
and then Justin Simmons made a good comment too. He said, we still got Helms. So that's why he don't
Yeah.
know if he'll be back or not.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, he won't be anyway, but
I was gonna talk about I was gonna talk about that a little later tonight. Have it out later tonight.
Uh, we also got
yeah.
Superman chat. Stefan Schilling says, we need to let our GM go if we have another bad season. Tired of these bad contracts, overpaying players for average performances. Show me results. Dun, dun, dun. That's
Hello,
Superman chat. Hey,
That's real though.
look
hello.
here. Look here. At the end of
Absolutely
the day,
correct.
Terry
But I
Fontenot.
mean, can you really blame? See, I'm so conflicted once I found out how they chain of command is. That's what because I'm not used to the GM and the head coach got to answer to the owner. I'm used to the GM being able to have full authority.
Well, you got to think. Did Thomas Demetro have full authority? I don't think he did.
No,
I
He
don't think
still had
he
to
did
report to
either.
Arthur Blank.
So it
I
sounds like
just
Arthur
think he
Blank
I
changed
just
the way
think
he
he
doing
made
things.
more moves that Arthur Blank agreed with. That's why he didn't get the slack that Terry Fontenot is getting. So he probably
Could be.
got Arthur Blank's approval before he made a decision. I don't think Terry Fontenot is doing that. I think he's making a decision, then dealing with the consequences later. That's the difference.
Look,
Whoo, boy, that's tough too, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. No,
Ain't gonna lie
cause
to
part
you.
of me still think a lot of them draft picks were Arthur Smith.
I mean,
I
I
can see
can
that because
see that. Yeah,
I can see that because they already lied and said Terry Fontenot knew what was going on with Arthur Smith before he got here, and I knew that was a lie.
we knew that was a cap.
So
But you know what's crazy? Smitty then came out in the interview with Rich McKay, and Rich McKay said, "Shit, yeah, Terry been here, but ain't no way I was going to let him just take the whole reins of the organization." So it's like they contradicting themselves the more press conferences they have.
hey, country, Mike said you getting sleep over there. You need to wake up.
man, I'm good over here, man. I'm
He
good.
said, "Man, relax." Hello, said, "Relax, y'all. Relax."
He don't want to put it he don't want to put it in that trash compactor. He gonna fall asleep on purpose.
Man, shoot, boy. Yeah, that garbage disposal ain't finna get changed tonight because we're only gonna have
Oh
Mhm.
$3
boy,
enough out
I
of
know how that can be hell.
Man, that's a whole nother job.
Boy, what you talking about?
And can turn into an all-day job.
boy. What you talking about?
Yep.
What you talking about? I look. I should have did it earlier. That's what I should have did. But at the end of the day, you know, it be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
And
you
at
know,
the end of the
Mhm.
day, the day gonna end. So
hello. You already know it. You already know it. Yeah, I
You
mean,
have to.
I think the whole situation with Terry Fontenot. I mean, if they don't get it done, it's just been too many almost. Unfortunately, it's been too many. Oh yeah, we almost traded back into the first round. Oh man, we almost got the
yeah.
Neil Hunter. Oh man, we all horseshoes and hand grenades, bro.
But think about it. I think this is the last chance because you got to think about the Kirk Cousin move. He saved his butt one more year by getting Michael Penix, but you got to think about the consequences of the Kirk Cousin contract. If we could be looking at something like a Michael Parsons trade or something like that if we had the money to pay him. So that was a direct hit from the Kirk Cousins trade. So you got to
And we
start
could have
thinking
kept Grady.
right.
Yeah, could have kept Grady. Probably Dahlman, you know.
I mean, look, I ain't even that mad about losing Dolman, honestly.
I'm not
Nah,
either, but I'm just
Me
saying, like,
neither.
if you wanted to keep that camaraderie, that chemistry,
Yeah, I mean, I ain't
that
gonna lie.
that's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like the whole thing with Grady. Like, yes, I hate to see Grady go, but
$20 million.
It was time.
I mean, for the last 10 years, we haven't been able to get after the quarterback consistently, and he's been a person that's been a key factor in that. So, like, why not at least try something different? If the money ain't
Right.
working, it ain't working, you know. So,
And he's been very vocal about not being happy for a while.
yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
it was time.
It was time. Like, you know, you hate to see it, but unfortunately, it was just time for it to go down like that.
So how many players left from that Super Bowl then now?
Just
Just
Jake
Jake
Matthews,
Matthews.
And they trying to get him out the door.
man, they ain't gonna let
Nah,
that.
he'll be about 2 or 3 more years.
I think he might be there longer than that, Smitty. He a Matthews.
And he
Yeah,
ain't got to
true.
protect the blind side no more.
His dad played about 15, 16 years, so yeah, that's true.
Shoot, I think it was like 17, 18. If I ain't
Could have
mistaken.
been. Yeah.
Like those Matthews,
I
man, they
remember
play
him in
forever.
Houston. Yeah.
Hmm. They
With
play
Boone
forever.
and Chris Chandler, who used to be our quarterback.
So you think it'll be a lot easier now that he's not in charge of the blind side?
I,
I mean,
I think
Uh
I think Jake Matthews gonna be all right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like people. The thing is that people always say, "Oh, you want the guy, you want to be your least best blocker to block the non-blind side," but most of the time, their best edge rusher It's
It's on the
gonna come to
opposite
you
side.
on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the blind side because they want that best edge rusher to have as much access to the ball as possible. So
Right.
I mean, it's a good possibility Jake Matthews is going to be facing the best pass rushers now.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Trey,
a
I
good
agree with
point.
that. Sometimes you got to take over your line in the back. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's like I hate to
You gotta
say
take over your life.
it, you know,
Gotta take it.
I hate to
Gotta
say
do
it.
it. Gotta do it, Bo.
I mean, and to be frank, I feel like Terry Fontenot kind of old Yeller, you know, Grady Jarrett. That's the term. They're like, just get out of here, you stinking mutt. Like I feel like he kind of did that.
Hey, not you stinking, but
I think he
But you
kind of
know
did.
what?
Yeah.
I do sort of agree with y'all about Terry job because I know me and Pops were talking today, right? And I told Pops, I done did a million mock drafts a million different ways. There's no way you could screw this draft up defensively for real. Like if you screw this up, you just need to lose your job.
Hey, there's always a way to screw
I
anything
ain't
up. You
gonna
just
lie
got
to
to
you.
find a way to do it.
But I feel where King coming from though, because there's so much talent in this draft, bro. Like we can trade back. I mean, because we've done it. We can trade back out of the first round and still end up with great talent.
And see,
You
that's
But
know?
why I didn't want Trey Hendrickson. What you just said is why I didn't want Trey Hendrickson. And I'm gonna tell you why. To me, the reason all these teams are offloading their old pass rushers because they see how deep this draft is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
why they
true.
don't.
that's true.
What? That's why a lot of these teams don't mind. Look, now they trying to get rid of Trayvon Walker.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll take Trayvon Walker.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'll take Trayvon Walker.
Just,
I ain't
I
gonna
was
lie.
just about to say, if they
Nah,
want
but
to,
see,
you
that's
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying,
saying.
move off of them.
We ain't gonna say be the fool, but we be the ones to take them because they see how deep this draft is to a point that they rather take a chance. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Right.
But I tell you a way they can mess it up. That old school way of thinking of the way they scout. Because ain't no way in the world you could tell me I don't care who was sitting on the board when Kyle Pitts got drafted. With Jamar Chase or Michael Parsons should have been a pick. Point blank period.
Yeah.
And that's an old way of thinking. They were thinking
Mhm.
tight end, the quarterback best friend. This guy's athletic. Let's take him.
And I think that's why the fan base so mad right now too. I think it's a lot deeper than just wins and losses. I think that's because if you look at it, the year we
Decision
picked
making.
Kyle Pitts, we could have had Michael Parsons. Then the year after that, we could have got Jordan Davis. Then the year after that, we could have got Jalen Carter. So I sort of see
But
where the fan base
honestly,
coming from.
And realistically
honestly,
speaking, too, y'all. Well, go ahead, Smith.
honestly, I wouldn't even be mad about that Jalen Carter pick because of the trouble he was getting in. Maybe he needed to get out of Georgia to start something fresh. We hadn't seen nothing like Bijan Robinson in Atlanta Falcon uniform ever. I'm talking about dual threat running back. Yeah, we had Warrior Dunn, but he played with the Bucks before he got here. You talk about any other superstar running back we had was a power back. We never had a Marshall Faulk type running back in Atlanta. Never.
And you know what? That's exactly what
That's true.
Tyrann Matthew said when they asked him about Bijan Robinson. He said that boy gonna be special, and I don't think Atlanta used him to his full potential last year.
I mean, we
No,
didn't.
but you
You
know how
know.
that is though. The quarterback it up. If Kirk Cousins stays on the road that he's on at 63, Bijan for 1,800 yards easily. Probably double digit touchdown, probably 12, 13 touchdowns. But when the quarterback is out of rhythm, the whole offense out of rhythm. So
And going back to that draft with Kyle Pitts, and this is why I say it's not just. I agree with King about it's not just about wins and losses. It's about decision making. Because we got Kyle Pitts, but you could have
yeah,
went Penei Sewell, you could have went Michael Parsons, you could have went Jamar Chase.
And I think that's the year nobody would have minded if you picked that Penei Sewell. I don't think nobody would have minded that
man, I
offensive
would have
lineman
loved
that
that
year.
pick, man.
We would have got Penei
See,
Sewell. We're not even talking about offensive line.
yeah, Yeah.
I mean,
And then people thought he was going to play the left side. He been on the right side in Detroit the whole time.
it's like it's kind of like what you were saying earlier, King. You talking about the you know the teams who do have pass rushers. They're willing to let those pass rushers go and just draft somebody else. It's kind of like somebody you know who isn't good at choosing a partner. It's like a, a, a lady who she trash at choosing dudes. So at the end of the day, what she gonna do? She gonna try to take somebody's husband because she know that somebody's husband is a good guy, or a dude's
So
gonna try to
so
take
so, ba-
somebody's
so
wife.
basically, so basically, she a undercover lady of the night is what
Yeah,
you saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
basically, she know that she choose trash dudes. So she's
Damn
like,
near street
man,
woman.
I wish I could get a
Oh
good
man.
dude. So I'm just gonna try to take this dude from this lady's, uh, from this lady, or I'm finna try to take his wife from him
Are you
because
wild?
I know I can't just go out in the streets and find somebody because my judge of character is terrible, and to a certain extent, that's how
Yeah,
the Falcons
you
are.
can see it that way. That's true.
Hey, and then you want to know what the crazy part is, Lo? That means that she just as delusional as our front office.
Damn, King.
Cause you know
Hey,
women
you
do be
got down with
delusional
that.
nowadays. So I mean, cause I'm gonna be honest. As much as I love Troy Anderson, tell me which one of y'all would have picked him in the round we picked him in. And I
Cricket,
love Troy, cause Troy fast. Troy, he just can't stay healthy, but I do like Troy. But I'm just saying, which one of y'all would have picked him, honestly?
crickets.
I always felt he was a fourth or fifth round pick because he's a
I would have
former
took Nick
quarterback and
Benito.
he hadn't adjusted to the linebacker position fully. So I wouldn't have dare took that chance.
I would have took Nick Benito.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
That basically all I'm saying. So it's like when you say bad pick of men, that's what made me think of our front office. It's like who picks. And none, I'm not saying taking nothing away from Troy Anderson because I do, like I said, I do like him. But who would have picked Troy Anderson? What they picked him in the third round?
Second.
The
Second
end
round,
of the second round. That we pretty much traded Julio for Troy Anderson.
pretty
Who would
much.
have picked Richie Grant?
Talk about over Trevor
Not
Merritt,
me.
over
Or
Trevor
Cisco
I
Merritt,
still on
wanted
the
I
Bulls
or
too.
wanted
Andre Cisco, and it doesn't stay the same.
I'm trying to tell
I
you.
Oh,
knew that was coming.
sometimes I get a little lonely. Yeah,
I'm
over
trying to
Andre
tell you because
Cisco.
I remember. All right, chill. All right.
Boy, Low get ready for them podcast Olympics, boy. Y'all don't
Hey,
keep
shoot,
him
he ain't
good.
by himself.
But yeah, like I would have took Richie, bro. I feel like the situation with Terry Fontenot. I feel like Terry Fontenot is kind of like that Scissor song. He needs to sing that Scissor song to himself.
Mm-mm.
He needs to ask, is he doing too much? Because
I'm talking about.
look, at the end of the day, man, ain't no need in trying to outsmart everybody and get this linebacker who played quarterback, played running back, kicker, left tackle, center, safety, and every other position in the second round. It's like you're doing too much. Like there are other guys out here who can play good football as well. Like
Bro,
we don't need a defense.
The Kobe Dean didn't go to the next round. Think about that.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't need a defensive what's the guy's name from New Orleans that
We ain't
killed us
need no
every year?
Taysom
switch,
Hill.
no defensive Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, we didn't need a defensive Swiss Army knife like the boy
Taysom
from
Hill.
Taysom Hill. Yeah, we don't need the defensive Taysom Hill. We just need a doggone good defensive player.
But
But
see, the reason why I asked that is because we still don't have a true Mike. And how many Mikes was in that draft? So it sort of brings me back to what Bill Belichick said
Like I
about how
said, the Kobe
Terry
Dean was
draft.
there.
man, there were a lot of mics in that draft. Tyson, Jackson, Jordan, Game 6. There were a
I'm
lot of
trying to
mics.
tell you all of them. For real.
Because if you think about it, remember what Bill Belichick said? I don't like the way Terry draft.
Yeah, I remember that.
No,
True
look, no
call.
lies told. No lies though. I mean,
And
Terry
what
Dad
Smitty
be kind
said
of funky.
remind
He
what
was
what
saying
Smitty
that
was
Terry Fontenot is arrogant when it comes to his draft process.
and
Could you did you argue
that's
with that
why I
though?
thought about what Lowe said about the female, because it's like how many I mean like even with us getting Pat McKinley, how do you pass on TJ Watt?
Man,
Like
come
it's
on,
just
bro. Come on, man. Everybody's trying to sleep good tonight.
I know, right?
I'm talking about,
Boy,
Everybody trying to
trying to
sleep good.
sleep good, eat good,
boy,
Yeah.
them fighting words, them
but
fighting
I'm
words.
basically just saying I hope he learned this lesson, because I keep seeing Raheem on every interview say this draft finna be defensive heavy. And I think that's the only thing that can almost save Terry job is a move like what we did today.
Bro, you think I believe anything Raheem Moore say?
Nah,
You think
that
I
dude,
believe
nah,
anything that come out of his if he was knee deep in
nah.
water said his ankles were wet, I wouldn't believe. You
see,
think I
Mhm.
would
but
believe
see,
anything?
that's why I was scared of them trading Kyle Pitts, even though
He can
everybody want to
he can
trade him.
sell the
Because
hell out
I
some
know the
cars though.
Falcons. If we trade Kyle Pitts, we're going to get a wide receiver in the first round.
Bro, so
That's tough.
I don't know if you heard what I was saying at the beginning of the draft, at the beginning of this mock draft. So there's a player who played high school football in Georgia. He played for an SEC team. I ain't finna out him. And he transferred to another SEC team. Y'all should be able to know who it is.
Yeah, I
But
know it
Mhm.
is.
basically he spoke to somebody in the front office with the Falcons last year
Mhm.
before he transferred, and they told him, "Hey, we looking for a wide receiver, and if you go to this team, you showcase your talent, we're gonna try to take you next year in the draft." So I mean, it's kind of out there that
Mhm.
they're gonna take a wide receiver. So I mean,
At 15, you can't be talking about 15.
Mm-mm.
all I can tell you is that they
No,
from the story that his dad told me is that the Falcons said they're going to be drafting either in the low 20s. I mean, they think that they were going to be drafting in the 20s this year. So they weren't even expecting to be drafting at 15. So I mean,
bro.
moving forward, that. But the thing is that his draft stock fell like off a cliff.
If
If he would have had a crazy
if
year,
they go wide receiver anywhere in the first round, I'm gonna go viral that night because I'm
I
gonna
know
go
that's right.
hell and high water. I'm telling you.
I don't want to go to the seventh, honestly, if you is going to get one.
But I wouldn't be surprised because as I've been telling y'all, he's building this offense just like he did in New Orleans. So don't be surprised. So
bro,
it wouldn't be really be a surprise to nobody.
he's never taken a defense player.
Never.
Yeah, it's funny. It's almost like it's against his religion to take a defensive player in the first round.
But in this draft, the defensive players are better than the offensive players at this point.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean, I go back to what you said earlier, King. It's like it's really hard to mess up this draft.
let
Like
me
I
tell
think it really is.
you, if check my let me put it like this. If you're not sure about Drake London and after this year, then yeah, you take a receiver because I've said that on somebody else's show. I said that on Mad Mike's show. Um, look, if you don't trust Drake London, then yeah, you take another receiver in this draft if you need a number one receiver. But if you trust Drake London, you don't do that.
What if it's about paying Drake London? Because boy, he finna get paid.
But look, this is what exactly what I said. I'm glad you said that. If Drake London don't have 100 catches, over 1,400 yards, double digit touchdowns, he will be traded next offseason. Mark my word. Because you don't give a guy like that $20 million, 25 or however much it is now. Because think about it. We know what the top tier receivers making, but it don't get no lower than T. Higgins with 25 million now that he's a wide receiver too. So now that is the threshold.
And see, the thing is, the reason why I said that about the money is because everything I've seen with wide receivers from ESPN, Drake is somewhere between 1 and 10, easy.
The thing that everybody's failing to remember is that the simple fact that Jesse Bates probably ain't coming back, y'all.
That's why he didn't sign that extension.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
if you look at the last what is it now, 3 years, 2 years, it's like
2 years.
Jesse Bates was expecting something completely different. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Jesse Bates pretty much out the door. That's why I really feel like it's a strong possibility you might go ahead and get a Malachi Starks because I just don't see Jesse Bates coming back.
I think it's depending on what we do this year. I think he.
Hey man, I'm just saying. Hey Tyreek, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, dog.
I mean, look, I don't know, King. You know, if I don't know if you
Yeah,
just look at like I'm not seeing him on as much promo as I did the first year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's a situation where he coming back, bro.
and think about it too, Lo. If you were going to extend him, this would have been the perfect time
Exactly.
before you
They may
gave
have. I think they
Jake Matthews
tried
that
to.
contract.
I, I'm hearing that they. Well, I'm seeing on Twitter that they tried to and he didn't want to.
I can believe it.
I don't know
But
how
this is
true the
why.
rumors is, but
This is why I said Nick Emenwari, just like Dre said, Nick Emenwari, he would have been on my top list too. He's been one of my top 5 picks all off season. You got to look at that position because even if Drake is here one more season, who's going to play on the other side of him?
Well, at the end of the day, they just need to keep. They need to make sure that they have safety for the next 2 years. I would say
At least, yep.
because that third year they need to go get Lagonza Shady Hayward from the University of Florida with their first round pick.
But I will say this: Jordan Fuller was not a bad pickup. I think that
Jordan
was a
Fuller
very
was not a
solid
bad
pickup.
pickup.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
I think that
Honestly,
was a
shoot,
solid
that was the
pickup.
guy who I was looking at before we got Justin Simmons,
Right.
and he went to Carolina, of course, before both of those.
Intel,
Yeah, I think you did say something about that.
Intel. That's
Mhm.
bro. Like you always get the guys who play for the divisional rivals because you want to know. Look, I mean, it's not a coincidence that Fuller and Fox came here.
Mhm.
It's not a coincidence. You want to know
Both played for the Panthers.
exactly. You want to know
That's
what
why
they
the
doing
Saints
over
get our leftovers.
exactly. Like you want to know what
I
they
mean,
doing,
do we really need intel on the Panthers this year though?
bro. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to you, boy. The Panthers gonna
yeah,
be tough.
we do.
Tough. The Panthers gonna be tough, boy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
That's a
lie. They
tough
they made
out.
some moves, bro. They
That's
made
gonna
some
be a
moves this
tough out,
offseason.
bro.
And they got like 4 picks in the top 50, so they finna make some moves.
That's
Trust me.
look.
Sheesh.
That's gonna be a tough out. That's gonna be a tough out.
All
Real
they,
tough
I'm
out.
telling you honestly, all they need is an edge rusher and a number 2 receiver, and they
I can
back
see
in business.
I can see him making a move for Tyler Warren. In all honesty,
I can see
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that.
seen on ESPN today. They've been down there scouting that quarterback out of what's his name?
Who,
It's a no
Jackson Dart?
name, huh?
You talking about Dart?
Nah, it's another one.
The,
He one that I ain't never heard his name
the
before.
kid from Louisville.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he rising up boards too because his name starting to pop up a lot as a third round, late second, early third round pick. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Cause they were talking about Shador going to New Orleans, and they were talking about
I
Carolina
don't see
getting.
that. I
They
don't
said
see that.
Carolina went to his pro day or something like that, and they were stuck to him like glue.
Mhm.
I said, "Boy, that may be because my exact words was that may be bad news for Bryce."
man, Bryce good. Bryce is their
Bryce,
guy.
Thing about it is, as crazy as it may sound, y'all, I think they need to stick with Bryce one more year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bryce good. Bryce is good. Look, the way that he burnt us alive in that last game, like
Man, listen.
Bryce,
that
Bryce,
But
solidified
but
one more
no, I'm gonna
season.
be honest about that last game. part of me feel like that last game was more so like, okay, neither one of us are gonna play defense. We just finna let our quarterbacks. We finna see who got the best quarterback. That's how I felt about that game. It's like both head coaches met up. All right, look, we ain't gonna play no defense today.
Right.
Cause neither one of us played defense, truthfully.
Man, bro, look. All I'm gonna tell you is I was literally sitting right behind the Falcons bench. And whenever I tell you Ruka Roro threw his helmet 3, 4 times, the defensive coaches were running around trying to figure everything out. Everybody was fussing and yelling at each other. Somebody was trying to play defense. They just couldn't.
Yeah, and at that point, Jimmy Lake was he was getting that plane ticket ready to head his ass back home.
Bro.
But I
Cause
mean, like we talked about the other night, Lo. If you remember that Washington game when Ertz scored that last touchdown before overtime, right? Why did we rush? We was in that same cover two we were talking about, and we rushed two out of the cover two.
Yep.
Remember when you said you don't do cover two at the goal line? I remember specifically we was in cover two because even my dad was like, "Why we in cover two at the goal line?"
I don't know, bro.
Everybody
yeah,
flabbergasted.
And
Bro.
and
Everybody
and
like, what
Ertz,
we
when I tell
doing?
you Ertz ate that cover two up on that last to go back
It,
and watch that last
I,
touchdown
I,
before the
I
overtime.
remember.
Mhm.
I remember. Yeah, I'm very much against cover 2 in the red zone.
too much
On a
talent on the
slant route
field.
at that. On a slant.
Too, too much talent to be
The
that
damn
bad.
leverage.
Yeah.
But I
What?
mean, my thing is, how can you not account? Because, like, okay, yeah, Ertz may be a little bit older, but let's not act like he won a dog when he played. So that's what confused me and Pops. Because we like, yeah, he may have gotten older, but if you give him the right amount of space and time, he gonna eat you alive because he been
Hey
doing
man,
this.
somebody like that find holes in the defense before they snap the ball. He knew
Exactly.
exactly where
Mhm.
he was going.
Exactly.
He
Which is
knew
why.
exactly where he was going.
And you tell coach I said that's why you don't run cover 2 in the red. Boy, we had
In
a
the
full
red
out.
zone.
Boy, old John
Boy, we
show.
was online by 4 hours, Smitty, about
Bro,
cover two and cover three in the
on John
goal.
and Winston show, boy, we had like a full straight up debate on cover 2 or cover 3 in the
But you
red
you know
zone.
what
Hey,
made
I
me the
think I
maddest
remember that.
about that though is when he said what he said the play was shotgun, two receivers on one side, two receivers. Why are we in shotgun at the goal line
Man, well,
anyway?
look, I mean, look, I done seen it happen before. I done seen
Oh,
it
we
happen
did
before.
it. It don't
We
never
we were
work
doing
for
that with
us.
Arthur Smith.
Exactly. Like, shoot, it didn't run a double reverse to John Smith. Like, shoot, I
Bruh.
need all that junk.
Like legit, like legit happened too.
Hold
Bro,
on.
Yeah,
these
And
folk was
then
on the
had
one
Kyle
yard
Pitts
line.
guarding Danielle Hunter.
bro. I don't know, man.
Mm, mm,
But yeah,
Ooh,
we had
but
like a
Jimmy
full on
Lake screwed us
debate.
bad.
We had a full on debate. I'm sitting here like, bro, what you saying don't make any sense. This man he said he tried to tell me I'm wrong. I'm sitting here like, bro, like what? Like, what are you
Oh,
talking about? He's like,
they
yeah,
call
you
you they call
like
you
you
Coach
play
No
press
for a reason.
coverage. You play
Yeah.
press coverage with 2 cornerbacks. I like, bro, you got 2 wide receivers on both sides. Why would you play press coverage with 2 cornerbacks
Oh,
on the sides
ooh boy.
with if you run a doubles on both sides? I like, man, look,
I'm glad I didn't see that show, boy, because I would have went off.
look at here, boy. I'm finna tell you something. It took everything in me to be respectful in that situation. Cause I legitimately want to be like, man, I look, it is what it is.
You
It
should
is what
you
it is.
you should
But
you should
Smitty, that was a 4 hour show, and most
let
of
Bro,
it
me
was about cover two and cover three.
bro. I
low
Absolutely hilarious.
next time low. Get you one of these. Get you one of these and draw it up on this. And then
man,
we can
Right.
man, look. I was
that's all
like,
you gotta do.
I ain't even sit up. I was like, I ain't finna sit up here and doggone try to argue with you. And then I keep getting caught back up into the argument because it wasn't making
Mhm.
no sense. I like, wow, like what are you talking about? You just running 2 cornerbacks against 4 wide receivers? Like that says bubble screen or tunnel screen all day. or you just run a pick play. Like, why would you do that? He was like, yeah, because he's going to jam him at the line of scrimmage. I'm like,
Oh,
man,
shit.
you ain't making no sense, bro. You ain't
What
making
is he
no
talking
sense,
about?
bro. I don't know. I was sitting here like, and then King was like, man, we ran cover two in the red zone against Washington, and they just ran the slant in front of it. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, why would you have two safeties playing the back playing back there by the goalpost whenever
Right.
you're literally standing in the end zone? Why'd you need two safeties back there? You're
And then the
like,
crazy part, I think they ran bunches out of that with
yeah,
that cover two we
They
did.
did. They did.
yeah, yeah. So, bro,
They absolutely
look,
did.
I don't know. Look, that's tips homeboy.
Hmm?
But that's
Jimmy,
what I
Jimmy
think. That's
Lake.
why I
Hmm?
said it's like people mad at D
My
Offka. I can't
homeboy.
really be mad at D Offka when Nielsen had D Offka. When it was Nielsen and Gray back there, D
Straight
Offka
dog,
was a beast.
straight dog,
I'm on with my homeboys. I don't know who y'all talking about.
man.
Hey,
Not because
we all knew Jimmy Lake was the problem because
Man,
Yeah,
I
fact.
that
I see
Minnesota
Tips
game.
not with Jimmy Lake at the Claremont Lounge on Tuesday night.
I promise you that wasn't me, especially at the Claremont Lounge on a Tuesday night.
You there for karaoke night?
Oh,
Mm-mm. I
not because
probably
I
probably
just
trying to
didn't
sing Jimmy
understand.
out of Atlanta.
Not because I just didn't understand. Okay, if my thing is, first of all, you keep trying to run this 3-4, and we got a 4-3 type defensive team. But in the same token, even if you're gonna run a 3-4 right, why do you got to me as a coach, you got to know your team. Even if that means if I've never coached the Falcons, but I can at least go back and say, look, Raheem, give me the tape on the last 3 years of what
right.
the team ran with these players. So I sort of know. It's like you trying to force a square into a circle, or however the term is. And it's like, how okay, the reason why I can't fault D Africa, everybody was sorry on defense. Even Jesse Bates, that was his worst
Everybody
year.
regressed. Everybody regressed.
That Minnesota game was one of the worst defensive performances I saw from the Falcons in years. That game was just awful.
And that's why by the time Big Low seen him in that Carolina game, they throwing helmets in.
Bro,
They were mad, bro.
they were mad. They
And
were
that's
mad.
why I think Bates didn't extend, because he don't know Jeff Ulbrich like we do. So in his mind, I think he giving the Falcons another year just to see, because you got to think, going from a Jimmy Lake to an Ulbrich, regardless of how you look at it, is a total upgrade. Because I
Right.
remember when we had Ulbrich as our linebacker
Absolutely.
coach, boy, he had Deion Jones them playing out their mind.
Yeah.
Man, but at the end of the day, you think about it from Jesse Bates' perspective, that's 3 DCs in 3 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good look.
That's
I
not
mean,
a
remember all the times we were complaining, oh man, Matt Ryan can't ever keep, the same coordinator. They always getting rid of him. Always get a new job. It's just the same thing, man.
Hey, it's gonna be
Same
the
thing.
same thing next year. Let Zach Robinson go off next year
Oh,
and
he
watch that
gone,
be.
bro. He
He
gone.
gone, bro.
Gone.
And
He
I
gone.
ain't gonna lie to you. He is gonna have this offense. I believe he's gonna have this offense clicking on all cylinders. He's able to open up the playbook off season with Michael Penix, coming back with Bijan Robinson, knowing what Bijan could be, knowing what Drake can be. Did Darnell Mooney healthy? Come on now. I think, he's gonna come out there and earn himself a head coaching job.
Yeah, he going to college.
Yeah.
He's going to college.
Yeah,
He's
he
going to
going to
start with the big
Oklahoma
team.
State probably. Probably
Mm-hmm.
back to Oklahoma
He
State.
was up in Tulsa somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm talking
somewhere.
about for real.
And cause see, the reason why I say that is because I look at Steve Sarkisian, right? I'm gonna be honest. That year Steve Sarkisian took over the offense, he really didn't do bad, especially being that you asking me to use someone else's playbook
Did
instead of
real
using
good.
He
my
didn't he
own.
didn't do bad, King. It was just the fact that everybody wanted Kyle Shanahan or was mad at Shanahan, and it didn't matter what Sarkisian came in and did, it wasn't gonna be right.
No,
True.
no.
But I
I've
mean, how
realized
much
that.
can you expect them to do with somebody? Like, I hate that. Like, this coach
Walk
got to
on
come
water,
in and do.
King. Walk on water. That's what it's
Nah, because it's like, that's like telling A1, right? Okay, yeah, we want you to do this broadcast station, but we want you to sound like this person here, and we want you to do every. We gonna give you his playbook, his script, and his playbook. And we want you to do what he do, and it's like
And
I'm
you know
not
what?
him.
You know what
We
thing I
going
think.
0-16.
I think I agree with what y'all saying. I think Raheem Morris wanted Jimmy Lake to follow his philosophy instead of finding his own, and that was part of the problem. So I definitely agree with that.
Man, I don't even know if Holmes even had a philosophy. I think
I'm being honest, I
his
don't need.
philosophy was not to give up the big play, but we gonna
Right.
give up 38,000. You know, what I'm saying, first downs, but we're not gonna give up that big play. Bet
You
you
know
behind
what
on
they
that.
said that on ESPN today when I was watching it when they were talking about our defense because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Michael Penix is not just far as football, but he finna be the net face of the franchise because that's he the only thing they talking about on ESPN right now. Like in a positive light. I ain't never seen ESPN talk that
And
good
that's
about
why,
him.
and that's again, that's why I said if he the face of the franchise and he got everything under control for the future, you go out and get that game changer on defense for the future. There's a reason why I said it.
Look, at the end of the day, you talking about they give up a whole bunch of short passes defensively. The issue that we had is that Raheem Morris and Jimmy Lake were coaching this defense like defensive back coaches. They were coaching the
Right.
defense because they didn't want to get embarrassed and give up any big plays over the top. So instead, they just got embarrassed and gave up a whole bunch of plays underneath. They
And
coach
that's what
scared.
they
But this is why I said he got to bring in a coach that's gonna challenge him. If it's something that he don't understand and he don't agree with, that's why you have more than one view as a coach. That's why
But
you got assistant coaches.
bringing in your
Come on, man.
homeboy ain't a good look.
Nope.
It's
but I,
not a good
I
look.
wonder so now I wonder if Ali was a Raheem pick or a Ulbrich pick at that.
Who you said?
The D line coach, I think his name Ali, the one from Houston, the one that had Houston going crazy.
Uh, I think that was more of a Raheem pick.
I think it was over a pick. There's nothing about that pick that feels Raheem Morris-ish to me. I'm sorry, like there's bro, there's nothing because Noah Raheem he would get the guy at Publix because he likes the way he bags his groceries to be the defensive line coach. Like
That's crazy work.
there's nothing about that pick that says Raheem Morris used
So
competition,
Raheem Morris, he just that man just standing there watching everybody, while everybody else do all the hard labor.
bro. I don't
How
know.
about right? Huh?
Raheem Morris, it feels to me, it feels like he's more worried about which J's he's wearing at the game, opposed
That's
to
true. That's
the
absolutely true.
pass rush lanes, the gap integrity. He's
What you
more worried
said,
about
he worried about the color of his capri pants low.
exactly.
Worry about the color of them capri pants,
He's
dog.
making sure that they don't come too far up the calf, opposed to, and he's worried making sure that the defense that the safeties don't get beat over the top, opposed to
No,
actually
because
worried
that's
about
what they
stopping
said on
somebody.
ESPN. They said we was fifth and not getting beat deep, but we were like 20 something in short passes allowed. They so basically we was allowing teams to dink and dunk on us.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta
Can
do
I
is
can
run
I
flood.
can I ask y'all a question? And this is something that crossed my mind a while ago, and I ain't never said nothing to nobody, not even Chris and Berto. We talk about Arthur Smith getting popular off of Derrick Henry. Did Raheem Morris get popular off Aaron Donald while he was there?
Damn sure did. I mean, I ain't mean to say that fast. I did not mean to say that fast. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna go last.
Nah, go ahead, Tip.
Man, no, I mean, I can believe so. I mean, honestly, him, Leonard Floyd, Morgan Fox, all those guys like that, you know what I'm saying, were on that team. You know what I'm saying, when they won the Super Bowl. Jordan Fuller, so I mean, it's like you're going back and you're trying to recreate that defense The only problem is, you don't have, of course, one of the greatest defensive linemen in Aaron Donald, of course. But it could be a possibility of that for real, though, Smitty, because he did control that defense. They did win a Super Bowl with him. And you know what I'm saying? Regardless, Super Bowl rings, no matter how you get them, let's just be honest. You hold it up, it speaks volumes.
Look,
I mean,
I
for me, I think that's like the delusion for him because it may be another 5 years before we see it. Well, I can't say that because they went and got the guy I wanted. I told everybody to go get Jared Verse, and you see what he did. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like Jared Verse. Um, I wouldn't have been mad if we took him, but I guess,
but
man, they didn't really. I don't know what they really didn't see because I mean, regardless, they were still trying to move up to come back and get Latu again. So it just, I don't know. I mean, Jared Verse is a good player though too.
But
I
see,
ain't gonna.
that was gonna lead to a question I have after the Smitty question. Do you think that they need to give Ulbrich a little control over the draft? I mean, as far as who scouting and picking for the
Mhm.
defense.
I mean, I don't know, Lo. What you think, man? Because I mean, at the end of the day, he is running the defense. I just don't want another Tat McKinley, what I'm saying, T.J. Watt thing. It's just that's hard to get over because T.J. Watt is still generational today, and Pat McKinley is still on his way probably back to work for UCLA at his alma mater. Just I
Man,
don't know, bro.
look,
Now
Tat
he went
McKinley.
off on the Chargers, coach. Remember?
Yeah, you sure did.
See
And
what I'm
now
saying?
he makes like the best frozen strawberry lemonades that Zaxby's has ever had. Like
But
those
you know,
frozen strawberry lemonades that
He
Tat
put the good mix on it, Lo.
boy, what you talking about? I gotta
you
get.
know,
Oh,
I
you know
call
why I
before I
say that
come,
though,
make sure he's
A1.
working every time.
I'm gonna tell you why I say that,
they out of
A1.
control.
Because it's hard for me to believe that the Tat McKinley thing, I get that, but he wasn't in control then. It's hard for me to believe that you come from the Jets defense watching Quinyon Mitchell and all these big boys up front and you ain't sort of changed your philosophy a little bit, if you sort of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
And
I
and,
feel
Rich,
you.
and
I
Richie,
feel
that's
you.
why I said they got to go out and get a big defensive tackle in this draft because Ulbrich can't survive without that. Because we all know linebackers thrive off of stuff like that, and he's a former linebacker, so he knows that.
That's why I was saying, do you think we need to give him a little bit more scout control? Is that why you think that he's been with them at every? Because he been with them every time they show the film. Matter of fact, they show him more than they show Raheem.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm. No, that's true.
Look, at the end of the day, I don't care who's making the decision. It's like at the end of the day, I need to just pick some good defensive players. Like,
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
look, all of the excuses and everything. If it doesn't work out this year, I mean, all of them can go. All of them. Terry,
Yeah,
Raheem, Ulbrich, every last one of them. I'd rather just start all over. I
but
ain't
but
trying to
but
keep
but
nobody.
that would be going backwards though because you built all this on the one GM and everything just fall apart. You got your franchise quarterback. You go out and get your star defensive player this year, and now you bring in another coach and then learn all over again. That's
Bro,
oof.
Michael Jackson
That's
went
tough,
backwards.
bro. Who wants to do that?
Michael Jackson went backwards. It was the best thing he ever did.
Yeah, yeah. But he also didn't have to play on the football field either. All he had to do was perform at the Super Bowl. He had to do something like that, but he still didn't have to go out there and hit nobody.
Look,
As a matter of fact, you better keep away from him. You better not hit Michael.
But I
look,
mean, I sort of get what Lo's saying because I can already see the fans now. If we have a bad season, that's why you should have got Wink Martindale. That's why I see Bill Belichick.
Yep,
Boy,
You
look.
know it's coming, King. It's
it's
on the way.
coming. It's coming.
It's on the way.
Hold your horses. It's coming.
Because
Let us not make
Belichick
the
already
playoffs. Let us
trolling us
not
with his.
not be competent on defense. Let anything happen. You already said it yourself earlier in the show. It's like we can do nothing to satisfy the fan base as a whole. So
Yep.
get ready. It's gonna be like that.
Yep. Just be careful what you ask for, cause you're
Be
gonna
careful
get
what
it.
you ask for. I know AD says that players speak highly of Ra. I mean, look, uh, this is the same guy. Whenever he was in Tampa Bay, he was going to the strip club with his players when he was the head coach. I mean, I would love him too. I'm sure, he gives a lot of leeway, and it shows on the field. Like the guy coaches that were easy on me as a player, I loved them. I was like, man, shoot, I know I ain't gonna have to do no up downs if I continue to jump off sides or I get encroachments.
That's why Julio left when Arthur Smith got here. Arthur Smith went with that training by yourself.
Yep.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of
Training
the
with
day,
P.O.
Arthur Smith, he was tough and still lost. So I mean,
Right.
he's basically like the loudest loser. I don't
The loudest loser you've ever seen in your life.
exactly.
Oh shit.
What is it? The biggest loser. He's the toughest loser. We just give him that
Mhm.
award. So I
But
mean,
that's why I think Pittsburgh worked for him, because remember, they still weren't scoring over 25 points, but the teams that they were battling didn't score over 20. So, and I think that's going to be a lot different this year.
we're gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, you think about it. Honestly, the way that Arthur Smith wants to run a team, the way Arthur Smith wants to run an offense, it kind of does fit the Steelers more than us. I feel like they're a more physical team, what I'm saying, by foundation, by culture. So, maybe they can go with it and let it ride with it out there a little bit more than they would so much in the South.
Right.
So then what happened to us? Because we used to be a team like that. We used to be a grit, run the ball, grit, defense.
Can't stop
Like,
nobody on defense.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
Dan Reeves was the coach then. That was a
Yeah,
long time ago.
Dan Reeves was the dude.
And we went from that to what I'm saying, hitting that old school song. What Rocco said. Hit him with the finesse. With the wrist
Yes,
finesse. Yeah,
sir.
that's exactly what happened.
You know it. We try to get like we trying to be pretty. You know, we going
but
to a
if you
football
can't do the
game.
foundational stuff right, how you gonna even be pretty?
That's the and that's once
That's
again.
where we at right now.
That once again,
Now you on the team now, King.
five
Now
picks, 5 picks on the last 4 picks. Positional players, offensive skill players, and then you wonder the last 5 picks or the last 4 picks, and then you wonder why you can't stop nobody on defense. You wonder why Bryce Young is throwing Steph Curry touchdown passes.
Man, that was
that
so
made me that
embarrassing.
burned me up. That burnt me up so bad.
Hey, and you had to see that
The
in person,
building.
low.
Yeah, I watched. I was literally right there. And they
Mm-mm.
come back to the sideline, everybody cussing each other out, people throwing stuff. I'm sitting here like, man, I look, I've been there, fellas. Last game of the season, you want to finish off on a high note, and
Yeah,
you,
bro, we could have finished at least with a winning record at least.
exactly,
Finally.
exactly.
At
So,
least to have something to go into the off season. Like, all right, we did falter, but at least we did have a winning season. You know what I'm saying? At least to try to hang your hat on something to like build toward next year. It's just like, dang, bro, we what I'm saying, we same position.
but it's hard to
It's
stop
just
people
tough.
whenever your last 4 picks were, offensive skill positions. It's hard to stop people in that situation.
Yep.
You
Hmm.
got to hit on those late round picks, and I mean, even Troy Anderson, second round pick, and shoot, I played more than Troy Anderson last year.
Yeah, you did. I seen you.
Exactly,
Yeah, man. Low had his helmet and stuff with the trotting out there.
exactly. So look, I mean, at the end of the day, man,
Low
like
was in uniform more than Brandon Dorless.
But you know what? I think that's more
You ain't right.
Raheem, because it's starting to seem like he don't like to play his rookies. That's what it looks like to me.
I, once again, I feel like Terry Fontenot drafts his players a year early. He drafts for that need a year early. Whenever I seen him draft Brandon Dorless and Root, I was like, oh yeah, Grady out of here. I called it. Whenever I seen them draft Brandon
Yeah,
Dorley,
we all said that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we seen that.
yeah, I was like,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And
Grady,
when I knew it was real that Grady was gone, it was during Jeff Ulbricht's speech when they asked him about Grady, and he sort of fumbled over his words, like, "Yeah, Grady a good person, and but we need to get to the quarterback." Dollar, he started fumbling a little bit, and I was like, "Yeah, he really out of here."
yeah, yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to read the room or read the interview.
That's
But
it.
that's
and
why I think
just like they said in the interview during the owners meeting that Raheem said he couldn't speak for Grady. I think they called him to the office to let him know that he was going to be released. I didn't think it had nothing to do with no restructure, because they weren't finna pay him the production he was having the last 2 years. Then he was coming off a torn ACL. No, you ain't finna rework no contract. Oh
So,
no.
I talked to
And let's
Grady.
keep it real. Let's keep it real with this too. We already know that first year off of a major injury like that, ask Kyle Pitts. You know what I'm saying? You are not right. You are not all the way right. It was plenty of times that I was in the Mercedes Benz on the sideline myself, and I see Grady. You know what I'm saying, on the
Limping.
field. You know what I'm saying? He'll be walking off the field, kind of limping. He'll go to a knee. Sometimes he won't even sit down. He'll go to a knee.
Yep,
You know, so it
right by the
just
bench,
yep,
bro.
right by the bench, but go to a knee instead of just sitting down regularly.
All right, so based off of what the family told me as far as Grady, they said that they hit them up about an extension, but they couldn't come to they said that the Falcons didn't value Grady the way that he felt like he could have been valued, and
Yeah, but
they told him
let reports tell it they offer him just as much as Chicago.
that's not true. That's not
I
true.
Oh
don't
no,
believe that.
sir.
Chicago offered them a
I
whole
didn't believe
lot
that.
more money. They said that
That's what I'm saying.
they said it would be a situation where it would have been foolish not to take the deal that Chicago gave him,
Because
opposed to
I heard they only offer Grady, like they wanted to offer him like 8 million, 10 million, something like that.
yeah, it was
Yeah, we wanted him to take a massive pay cut so we can make some moves.
But you know what? I can't fault Grady because Grady probably in there like y'all signed that old sucker ass quarterback to 180 million, but want me to take, because you got to look at it. Why would I take a pay cut if I've been here and been loyal, but you give him 180 million? He the one really ruined the
Right.
team, not me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, you're talking too real right there now, King. You're talking too real.
Nah,
Just
because
saying.
I seen the Grady interview at Chicago, and when they asked him for Atlanta, he looked like he lost his girlfriend.
Right. You right. Yeah, I
but he
seen that
wanted to
too.
stay.
I
He
seen
wanted
that
like
too.
I'm
He
telling
he
y'all, he
did.
wanted to
The
stay.
whole family wanted to stay.
Yeah.
No, because go and watch his interview, his very first interview with Chicago, and the reporter asked him about Atlanta. He paused for like a good 5 seconds, and you know the look on your
Yep.
face when you like your girl done broke your heart and you done caught her cheating, and
I ain't gonna lie. It was
I ain't never had
similar
that
to
happen.
how Julio. It was similar to how Julio was when he was like, man, uh, uh, it was a hell of a ride, y'all. It was kind of
yeah,
similar to that.
and then you make him the face of the team last year, which really probably made it like a big slap in the face.
Yeah. True.
Hmm. But he definitely fleeced the Bears though, because that guaranteed money, you couldn't turn that down,
Yeah, you
bro.
can't
What that
turn
was close to 30 mil guaranteed
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Grady right
you
now.
gotta take that.
But
Gotta
you
take
know, the
Gotta take
only
that.
thing that I think could really be dangerous is if Chicago let him play the position. Because remember, we played him out of position his whole career.
Yeah. They run a
Right.
4-3, so he'll be all right there. And he
Mhm.
got
Hmm.
Montez Sweat on the other side of him, so he'll definitely be all right.
Yeah. And they still probably going to end up grabbing somebody out of the draft. And I mean, Bears made moves, period, too. They got a couple guys.
Yeah, Bears got a little spot.
Old
But I
offensive
just
line,
remember when
defensive
Grady
line.
was next to Dontarie Poe and Hagman. I remember when he was next to them two.
Yeah. When he had those guys, yeah, Grady was able to get some space. Because, Hageman, man, he just couldn't keep his head on right.
But
Yeah.
remember, he also had Adrian Claiborne too. So it's like y'all never replaced the big guy next to him. He was the big guy. You put basically with on your model, you put two Grady Jerrys
Oh
together.
shit, man. Grady gonna be good, man. Grady got Montez Sweat, Jervon Dexter, and all the bingo there in Chicago. So yeah, he gonna be good, man.
Yeah, Grady good.
And he got
Like,
Zach Pickens, the rookie from last year.
he in a better situation
Oh
and he
yeah, he
getting
good.
more money.
Oh
He'll be
yeah.
okay. Only thing he need to do is make sure he wear bulletproof vests in Chicago.
Mhm.
Hey, and make sure he cover
Fat.
up them ankles, cause and them ankles and them knees, cause boy, it get cold in Chicago,
Boy,
boy.
what you talking about?
Mhm.
We went to
And he
Chicago
got
like
Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker behind him.
we
Oh
went to
yeah.
Chicago about a month ago. They said it was 0 degrees. I ain't never been in that
Yep.
kind of weather before. So
In the
I as soon
springtime.
as I walked out the airport, I was like, let me see what this talking about. But I took a breath in and bro, my lungs literally burned. It was so cold. I ain't never felt that kind of cold before. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
I found
different. They got different installation in the coats up there.
boy, you got to be.
But
Got
see, the reason why I say that is because I never seen Grady play outside of a dome.
I mean,
It's
look,
gonna be interesting.
it's
It's gonna
gonna
be
be
interesting.
it's gonna be interesting, man. Look, them
But when
old
you playing
bodies
football
ain't
for a
that
long
cold.
time, you can play indoors or outdoors. It really don't matter. It's just all about who you got around you, man.
How old is Grady now?
31.
Think, yeah, I'm about to say I think 31, about to be 32.
Yeah, Grady, he got a few more. He got a couple more good years left in him.
Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
That,
As long as he
but
stay
that's
healthy,
why
sky's the limit for him.
Cincinnati don't want to pay Trey Hendrickson.
Man, they already don't gave Chase and Higgins crazy money, so it's just like
Grady
it's
Jarrett
gonna be
turned
hard
32
signing Trey.
on the 28th of this month.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Say he'll be 32 at the 28th of this month.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? He should be 32. He will be 32. He'll be good in 32 when the season starts.
Kind of like Kirk
And,
Cousins.
and I'm glad Dre Murphy brought that up. Um, it's just crazy how many edge rushers they don't whiffed on going after. You look at Danielle Hunter, he chose Houston over Atlanta. Montez Sweat chose Chicago over Atlanta. What is that front office doing wrong that players change their mind about coming here?
Remember,
Mm.
Calais Campbell didn't even
Oh,
want to come back.
yeah,
Yep.
Calais
I'm pretty
Campbell.
sure
I
they reached
mean,
out to him. Yeah.
we let Calais Campbell go. You know, I know folks were saying, why did we let Bud Dupree go? You know, because I know he was captain almost with the Falcons though, because he would almost get there. He
But he
would
got that new
almost get there.
contract with the Chargers, though, didn't he?
And the Chargers hated him. They
How,
hated Bud
how did he
Dupree
do
out there.
last year?
I mean, he was alright, but honestly, he got a lot of penalties. That what I'm saying, sustained drives for the opposing team, and a
But
lot.
wasn't
I
he
mean,
our top sack leader last year?
well, I know he definitely generated some of the most
Bud
pressures for
Dupree and
sure.
Calais Campbell were tied.
But
Yeah,
then
and then you
see,
remember Arnold Applicate, remember he had 6.5.
Okay,
then
so
that's
yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah,
crazy
yeah.
because it now made me wonder about Malone because it's like now he almost was our sack leader. You see what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. I don't know what our organization
That
doing.
that was that was just piss poor coaching, man. Let's just keep it real. Piss poor coaching. And we all knew D'Angelo Malone could play. You don't just get 32 sacks in college by mistake. Come on, man.
Yeah, when he does play, he's automatically generating pressure. That's Tip boy. That's Tip boy. Tip
Well,
said, "Hey, I don't think you should play D'Angelo Malone. You should drop Matthew Judon back in coverage. That's what I think you should do."
nah, see, I never agreed to have Matthew
Man,
Judon out there playing big nickel. I never agreed for Matthew Judon to be out there trying to be Scott Case. You
Hey,
know,
man,
And see, I think see there we go again with Jimmy Lake because I feel like Jimmy Lake ruined Judon honestly because for me I'd have never put a Judon on a Miles Sanders. Like, what the fuck? My bad. What kind of off the defense you running?
Man, you good.
Like,
I
man, when
know
I
it make you
seen
say
that
that though.
low, when I seen that in that game, man, I almost broke the TV. I almost threw a glass at the TV because I'm like, why are you covering Miles Sanders?
Bro. And that's why I'm asking
No
you,
business.
Judon. That's why at the end of the game, he didn't even want to talk to nobody because he's sitting here like, man, I know why would I come back to this? Even if the
Mm-hmm.
DC's gone, it's like the head coach is letting this happen. Like, why would I come back to this?
I mean, that's the real question.
Yeah,
You know?
they're
I
wasting
mean,
opportunity.
you
Troy
brought
Anderson
me in to
trying to
rush
guard
the
Alvin
quarterback,
Kamara.
but wouldn't you be mad, low? Think about it. We bring Low in to rush the quarterback. That's all we want you to do. That's what we told you. But then when you come in, Jimmy Lake got you in coverage on every third and fourth down instead of rushing the quarterback.
Stupid.
Why
And
would I
then
want to come back
remember,
to that?
Why would I want to come? Once again, he's coaching like he's a DB's coach.
because
He's
think
coach.
about it. Remember that damn what game that was? Well, they weren't even putting him in on third and fourth down in a couple of games. He be there on first and second down, and they take him out on third and fourth. And I'm like, he a pass rusher. Why would you do that?
Yeah, the most storied pass rusher on the team right now. But
And again, you got guys out there like Chuck Smith that play for the Falcons, and you don't even know how to use your pass rushes. And you got a guy that run a camp in town and won't even give him a call to give him a job. That just don't make sense at all.
so he
Because
gonna
I
Give him a
refuse to
call to give him
believe.
a job, and you won't send your players down there to him.
exactly.
Because I refuse to believe that Judon went from 10 sacks to almost zero coming over here.
Man, Chuck said himself that Vic Beasley or Chad McKinley didn't reach out to him to try to come, see him to work on their pass rush move.
Because when Vic Beasley tried to, Dan Quinn shut all that down.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
Well, another reason why he ain't here, right?
Exactly. All right, fellas, we're gonna get ready to shut it on down, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm finna be putting together that garbage disposal tonight. I ain't gonna.
No, I don't see it, bro. I don't see it, low.
Just gonna make that pallet on the sofa then.
Hey, below hope to miss his sleep.
Man, shoot. Watch, I'm finna walk out here. She gonna be standing right
looking right at you.
there. Exactly.
Like a horror
Like, oh,
movie.
you have fun with your coaches meeting?
Exactly. Exactly. Man,
Yeah,
y'all
and Bit
tell
Low gonna have
everybody-
to start playing Tenderoni just to get thing.
Hey,
You know what I'm
look,
saying?
you
Get it
know
right.
it. You know it. You know it. That's the go-to right there.
Chris trying to start something.
Nah,
Bro, it
Oh,
was so funny. Like that song had came on the other day, and I had just thought about it. I said, "Hey, wait a minute, hey Lo, you be singing this to Coach Ronnie?" He talking about some boy. I still do.
Nah, you know he's saying jacket is as soon as he see her, as soon as he about to get in trouble.
man, man, shoot. Y'all want to let
That's
everybody
pretty
know where
bad.
they can find y'all at, man?
Hey man, well you can find me at A1 Forever Sports, man. Make sure you be generational because there's always time to be, and don't you settle for less because you can always have more with the vision. Come on over, have a Hawks, Braves, or Falcon conversation on A1 Forever Sports. Also catch your boy on Hawks Digest. Just dropped a new video on Hawks Digest. So, so if you're not too sleepy, check it out tonight. If not, it still will be there in the morning. Um, shoot, man. Also, A1 Forever's on Twitter, A1 Forever Instagram, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok.
Yeah, don't fool with the fake one. Don't fool with the fake A1.
Yeah, don't pull up the fake one. The real A1. So if
Yeah,
it say the fake, that's
real.
not me.
Exactly.
Man, this King Richie, man. You can find me on I still haven't got it all the way together, but you can find me on the Dirty Falcon podcast. Once I get 50 subscribers, then I can go live. I really be wanting to go live. I really want to be able to go live on draft night, but I don't know how quick that's gonna happen. So you can find me on everybody else podcast anytime, anywhere, as long as they drop the link.
There you go. Smitty, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah, they know where to find me, man. Find me on YouTube, and Twitter star Jet, because that's what I do. Also find me on the NFC South Roundtable, man. We're gonna get back to it sooner or later. I think right before the draft we're gonna have a show, and we're gonna talk potential draft picks and what teams need and all that good stuff. But continue to support the sports machine, man. I'm trying to get to 15,000 by my birthday, and that's in July. So help your boy get there. I need about 500 more subs, and we good to go.
Can't beat it, bro. Can't beat it. Everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach. Love to sit around and talk about sports. Definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming in and chopping it up with us as we did a couple of mock drafts. I do need y'all to make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you hit that like button for me. If you hit that like button, I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day.
Hold on. You done gave up singing at the wedding. Now you dance.
Man, we do it all. We do it all. You know, it don't matter what you need. You know, sing, dance. I strip. You know, I still strip a little bit on the side.
Hold on, what?
Yeah,
It's getting crazy.
yeah. So I got a baby pool.
Chippendale Low.
Yeah, I got a baby pool on the back of my truck.
That man said, "Yeah."
I put baby oil in it, and you know, just do a little strip show, and you know, hopefully everybody can enjoy the show. Tony Wright says, Smitty says, ask Low about a retirement party that he, Roddy White, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown are all throwing for Julio Jones.
Man, hold on. What happened to Harry Douglas? He's supposed to be part of that too.
I don't know what he's talking about. I think I still Tony Wright. He's confused. I think he's talking about a party that they throwing. I ain't doing none of that. I don't know what he talking about.
Oh, he was the one out there on the Royal Caribbean ship with the butt naked scribbles.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Exactly.
Now I said they ain't gonna be posing like Odell them before the playoff game.
Oh Lord have mercy. No. So I say sexual healing in the hot tub? Nah, ain't nobody do all that. Ain't nobody do it. To come out of the water? Like what was you doing in the water? That water hot in the hot tub? Oh, God. Too many questions.
Man.
Anyway, definitely,
Like
man.
all the hot dogs.
I'm telling you.
Too much.
Too much. Y'all take it easy, man. Thank y'all so much. Hope y'all have a good night, man. What in the world, bro?
Peace.
Peace.